So now that things are kind of working, so my Mac, of course, is typical Catalina. Nothing wants to work. My camera didn't want to work this morning, so people get the talking head instead. I hope everyone
Haha.
enjoyed. I hope everybody enjoys that. In any case, for those people who don't know who you are, do you want to kind of introduce yourself there, Sweeky?
Oh yeah, so I am Sweeky. I work at Microsoft in the what we call the mobile customer advisory team. And what we usually do is to sort of help a bunch of customers and help our product teams work on a bunch of best practices stuff. So yeah, super excited to help out Dan this morning.
Yes, well, thank you for coming on and joining.
Mhm.
I know you and I have talked about this for really quite a while now. So, kind of one of the problems of any large project, of course, is testing and validating that what we're doing hasn't broken something. And unit tests really only get you so far. So I'm really excited to have you on and kind of helping us take a look at how we can take the little sample app that is part of the Prism repo here and kind of make that work for us in a way that we can automate the testing around it. Since, well, I'm human and I sometimes forget to actually open it up and test it.
Totally fine. Yep. Yep.
So I know people are like, oh, but you know this and that. I'm like, I make mistakes like everyone else.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Yep.
anyway, so I know you have the code open there thanks to live share as well on your end. So why don't you guide me through and kind of where should we go first? What should we do? I know we have this project here.
Sweet. So this is let me so Xamarin.Forms is the sample. Is it? Okay. I see in iOS and then no, is it just iOS or is it
There's
Android?
Yeah, so and this kind of came from the original template. Like I've updated this to the SDK style project
Mm-hmm.
format.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, but so that like this has the project reference to the iOS and Android head, but we
Okay.
don't actually reference the assembly. Just kind of as the trick to force them to build and make sure that the artifacts are created, right?
Got it. Got it. Okay. So sweet. So I am guessing you want to do it page object style.
Yeah, so I've got that kind of just the template. So I mean, I haven't really done anything crazy here. Um,
So yeah, so that was my question. Where did this come from? Is it from our page object sample, or is it something you use on your own?
no, this came from like file new Xamarin UI test, and then I
The
just
same. Okay, so
yeah.
that's just the stuff that you have in that. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to ask you to do next is on so there's a page object pattern package that you can add that actually will pull in all of the base test fixture, and all of the default style files to start with. That's usually like what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
if you
what's
just
that
search
package?
so Xamarin.uitest.pop should pull it in for you.
What was it? A POP? You said
Yeah, so Xamarin.uitest.
okay. The
So the
gotcha.
third package, yep, that's the one.
So we have pop. Are we gonna get IMAP? Never mind. Sorry,
um,
little email joke. Sorry.
hard to resist. I don't believe you. But yeah, so once you have that,
Mm-hmm.
um, let me go check these steps while you're doing that. Sweet. So, oh, I should see a button up here. Okay, so that should, yep. So there'll be a bunch of steps that will tell you what to do in this README. So
Okay.
why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay, so we've created an app manager. I don't see it. I mean, I can delete stuff though. I'm cool with it.
Okay, now so I do know there has been an issue with this. Okay,
So we wanted to
with this
remove that.
package that it doesn't sometimes add the pages, but it says it does. So did it? So you should have added those four files. Do you see those four files?
I already had a
Oh,
base page, so maybe it failed because I already had base page.
Possibly. I would say, yeah, why don't you just
Yeah, why don't
clean
I
up?
remove that, and then I'll just
Yeah,
remove everything, because we don't really care. There's nothing really generated here. Nothing that we care about anyway, yet.
yeah. I'd say, yeah, if you can, just, yeah.
Okay, so we'll try this one more time.
Okay, let me stop.
And no. Okay, so we'll go the other route. Oop. No, not Visual Studio Preview.
Oh my God. Stay there. Okay. File. Join live share. Is this what I got from here?
So I'm going to do it the cheater's way. So I'm going to go into my NuGet cache and just grab the files.
Ha! Whatever makes you feel. All right, I am in your session.
Oh. Okay, so.
I think it's still syncing. No, it's not.
Let me just copy that. Change some file names here. And actually, that little thing annoys me, but whatever. We'll live with it. What? Why do we have that?
Okay, where'd you get so far?
So I'm just trying to bring these files in. So I'm doing a rename here on the files.
If you
For
want to
crying out
do,
loud.
okay. I was like, if you want, you could just. Oh no, I think you're okay now.
So I'm getting some really fun little issues because technically all of my work is on a network drive as far as the Windows side is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it freaks out and does weird stuff, which it's doing right now. So when I rename the file, it actually is making some sort of weird copy. I don't know.
Got it.
Okay, so base page. So let me delete that duplicate. So I'm just going to go over to the Mac side real quick and do it from over there. Okay. Cool. So now we should be able to do what we need to do. Okay. So I think that gives us what we want, right? So now we have our app manager, our base page, this base test fixture. Yes, I can
Yep.
talk. Yep.
Yep. That looks all right. Okay, so what I'm going to make you do next is
Why does that not work here? Hold on.
might be a namespace mismatch.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Because
it's
Visual
just
Studio is doing dumb things again. Hate when it does that.
but yeah, if you just go edit up the root, I think it has root namespace or something over there. If you clean that up, it should
Well, actually, I do need to
be
do that. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So let's just try to build that, I guess, real quick. Okay.
Oh wow, I should really go file in a bug. So I still cannot see the solution. This is hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of issues with live share lately too. Like when I was streaming with Shane, on Friday, I wasn't getting any IntelliSense. I wasn't getting any highlighting, nothing. So that was really weird. I'm like, I thought you're supposed to get the language service here.
You are supposed to. That is true. Yeah. Trying to see if I can like trick it into showing me the rest of the files. Let's see. Okay, I think we can work through this. As long as I can open the files, is fine. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think we're good. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right.
So this is like a first build here, so it may actually take a minute or 5.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. So so what you've basically got so far is just like the basic, like just starting free starting pages from that you need to get started with page object.
Okay.
What we're gonna do next is, since you went in and did a bit of deletion, we need to actually pull in a test file also to actually write the tests in. So you can just do like file new test, file new C# blank page, and then like just call it test or something.
So do we want to just kind of keep putting everything in the root? Do you have like a recommended structure here?
For now, let's keep it in root. Let's make sure the apps are launching. We're able to get REPL up and running, and then we'll go put in some structure. So yeah.
So should we just do like a REPL test or something like that? Or
yeah. So just call this test for now. That's fine.
Just call it test.
Call this file test. Yeah.
Okay.
And what I'm going to make you do is open up GitHub and go into our page object pattern sample.
Okay, so GitHub, and where am I going?
So we're going to, what's it called? Xamarin UI Test, POP, that should pull up our repo. Like it's a samples repo for page object pattern.
So is it in the Xamarin organization or?
It's in, you'll see it under the test cloud organization. I think it's still lying around over there. Let's see. Let me see if I can just dump the link here in the chat, because I have Twitch open on a different machine.
Can I turn my background music up? Brian, I don't have any background music going at the moment, bud.
Okay. Code. Okay. Where is Twitch? Let me put it in the Twitch chat. Okay. I dumped it in the chat if you want to go grab the link from there.
Okay. Oh, here, maybe I can just find it here. I'm guessing Xamarin Automation Service.
So you want to do GitHub, Xamarin, UI. Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Okay. So what do we have here?
I need you to click it. So this is like our whole repository where the whole sample is. This is where the NuGet package comes from. Yes, so if you click into that, those base pages and stuff that the NuGet package adds, if you don't want to add a dependency to the NuGet package, you can just click in there and manually copy over those files. It's all there. If you click into the wiki section in this repo, it actually gives you a lot more detailed explanation on what the pattern is, how to get UI tests, how to get it set up, what's the best practices when it comes to using this pattern and things like that. So some tricks, page object pattern tricks and tips and things like that. So but for you, what we're going to do right now is if you go back into the code.
Okay.
And grab the click into the second folder.
Okay.
And click into what do you call it's the tests. I'm trying to remember where the path is myself. And then inside of tests, just click one of those. Any one of those is fine.
Okay.
And just copy over from the public class test. And just go until the first test, basically. Just that says REPL over there. Let's just grab that.
Let's just grab this. Okay.
You want to go one up. I'd say copy all the way from the base page, unless you want to type all that out. I'm lazy. I want to type nothing. So.
I am pretty lazy. I'll give you that.
Figured, yes. So. one thing all programmers share. We are all lazy. Yeah, so
Yes,
if
we
you
will
just
spend like 100 hours a week for 6 months to save ourselves 20 minutes for
pretty
something.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So you have, so let's see. So yeah, so we called our default test R3 test. You can rename that class to back to tests and rename that constructor to tests. I think you called it test or tests. I forget. Was it an S at the end? What did you call your file? There we go. Sweet. So that's REPL. Let's see. Okay, so all of the curly braces match up. Yep, this is cool. So once this is set up, so this is our test to launch REPL. What we want to do now is let's go in. Okay, so now we have a choice. So there's two ways. So now we have to basically plug in the actual apps that we want to test. So your Android and your iOS app. This is where we do the setup for that.
Okay.
So do you have a pre-built APK or IPA that you want to use right now for the test?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so can we do a project reference? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so
we have it on a project reference, yeah. So I mean, we should be able to, because it's going to generate something.
No, doing it with project references on Windows is generally a little weird with UI tests. I mean, it's not weird. It's more like we might just like end up spending a lot more time just like trying to debug problems with that. What I'd suggest is,
would it be better if I did, if I just did Visual Studio for Mac? Would that help, or?
No, I mean it's the same in both places. It's not like project references work in one and they don't work in the other. It's just slightly more irritating here. In general, though, I don't like doing project references just because if you have a really large project, when you do a project reference and you start a test, it's going to rebuild your main project and its dependencies, and then build the app itself, and then build the test, and then run the test.
So what I'm hearing is we should definitely like comment this out and just kind of get that out.
Yeah, I would definitely say remove the reference. And can you instead, let's just build a copy of either the Android or the iOS app, just one to start with. And in the app manager, if you open that up and scroll down to line 42
Sure. So
or line 50.
I'm just thinking, since we're on Windows, we probably want to build the Android one, right? Because it would be more difficult to get it onto the iOS simulator from Windows.
100%, yes. Okay. So, yeah, for sure. So, why don't you just make a path? Make an APK. So make sure it's in release for Android, because you cannot, because UI test is really particular about that.
Really? Okay.
It's because with debug by default on Xamarin, we use shared mono runtime, and UI test cannot work on the shared mono runtime. We need the full thing. So so you want to make sure it's a release build of the APK.
That's really good information. I did not know that.
Yeah, it will actually just spout out an error that this app has the shared mono runtime. Can you rebuild it in release? They've improved the error messaging, so at least you're not completely lost anymore. So yeah. There was a time it was like, why is my test not working? And the error message was not very clear. So yeah, at least it tells you now. So yeah, all you have to do now basically is once you get that APK, uncomment line 42 and put the path to it. So it knows where to find the APK to run the test. And another thing I like to do to save time is also get the emulator up and running before starting the test. So that saves a couple of seconds of making, UI test go and start your emulator and then start the test. So if you are, again, super lazy like me, you want to just go get everything started up beforehand.
Now I'm trying to remember if the emulator actually works from Visual Studio. I might have to switch over to Visual Studio Mac for that alone.
Oh yeah. That has happened to me before.
Yeah, I've been having like all kinds of weird issues lately. Like my iOS simulator, golden. I can deploy to devices, no problem. UWP stopped working in like December, and I don't know why.
Oh boy. Okay, now that I've got live share figured out, sort of, I can see your build outputs and stuff. I'm getting IntelliSense on my end, by the way. All I am not able to see is the Solution Explorer, which is so odd. I can see the File Explorer, just not like I had to switch over to shared
Do you need
folder view, which
to
isn't bad.
do you need to go
So,
to like view and open a solution explorer? Did you maybe like accidentally close it out?
no, I'm on the right pane. It's just being weird. I'm not sure why. So like
Huh.
if I switch over to solution view, it doesn't work. But if I stay on folder view, it works
Mm-hmm.
just fine. So yeah.
That's very
Oh well.
strange.
More bugs to file. That's what these sessions are for, and that's what my job is. So yay.
Okay. So
Sweet, I see success. I see lots of successes.
yes, yes, there was a
Okay,
lot
so
being built there.
yep. So again, another thing I like to do,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to do it right now, because finding the path to things both on Mac and Windows can be really annoying, especially to someone who's very new.
It didn't
I
generate an
basically
APK though. I think we might need to set something so it does that.
you can why don't like did you want to check if your emulator was working? Why don't you just like switch over to the Android solution and just deploy to an emulator? It can be two things at once.
Well, I can deploy to the real device too. It should generate an APK for that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That also. But yeah, I usually what I do is I make a folder in the root of the solution, call it binaries, and put the binaries in there. So when I have to put the path to the binary, then it's like pretty straightforward. But yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Now, how does this generally work between like I'm doing this locally, and then of course we're gonna have some CI concerns
There's
later
no
on.
CI, absolutely no CI concerns. So everything that you write, everything that you do to make it work, as long as right, let me rephrase, as long as you got it to work locally on your machine
Mm-hmm.
with a simulator or a device,
Mm-hmm.
preferably device. You all you have to do to get this to work with App Center in your CI is just add in the App Center task. So they already have a pre-built task. So you just have to
Okay.
tell it, okay, this is where the test folder is. So like
Mm-hmm.
basically in your solution, just like point, okay, this is the test project.
So it's
And
not
like,
going to freak out that I have like I'm saying like here's the path on my local machine to get to this
oh,
APK, and then
gotcha.
like
No,
yeah.
no, no. So in when it runs in App Center test, this file is actually ignored. They don't really read any value. This is literally just for your local stuff. When it
Okay.
runs it in, yeah, so they have their own paths that they use and they stub it out. So you don't have to worry about that
Oh, that's
at all.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of those things that honestly, like I don't think is talked about enough, right? Like you look at this documentation, everything
Uh-huh.
we say,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, okay, well, here's how I do this on my machine, but it's like, well, great. How do I automate this now? Because like I don't know what the paths
Right,
are for
right.
App Center, right? Like who does?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. So actually, I understand where the confusion comes from. But yeah, no, not to worry at all. It literally doesn't when it has to run. So you do two separate commands to run your test on an iOS device or an Android device for App
Mm-hmm.
Center test, anyways. And then when you do those commands, part of that command line, so it's like a command line tool, or you can use the task, like I said. But as part of setting up the tool or the task, you
Mm-hmm.
basically point to, okay, this is my UI test solution. I'm running it for Android. This is my Android APK. And similarly for iOS, you're like, hey, this is my UI test project. This is my iOS IPA. And then the system, when you do the upload, it figures out the rest of it for you. So you don't really have to worry about anything. All you have to make sure is you provided the correct IPA and the slash APK file.
Oh, well,
So
that's fantastic.
it's really straight. Connecting this to CI and App Center is actually the easiest step of all. If you ask me, what takes the longest? What takes the longest. It's not the hardest. There's nothing hard about any of this process. What takes the longest is what we are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
This initial setup, getting the initial pages, and getting like the first few tests going.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have the first few tests going, expanding this as your apps expand is again super easy. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So what did we do here? It
So
doesn't
do
seem
you
to be
have
deploying
it,
here.
is it up on your device? Do you have it open?
It looked like it was on my device, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Story of my life today. Good God. Um,
Let's see. I can.
like
Are
it
you
should have been
okay?
just debugging. Like,
I mean,
so,
it says I see
so
deployed successfully to device.
yeah. So, and it's on my device. I'm not sharing the device at the moment, but it's on the device. It just isn't going into a debug, or it's not opening up a. Well, I guess it is a release build, so that kind of explains it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, we did do a
Yeah.
release build. If you really have to use the debug build for something, all you'll have to do is basically uncheck shared mono runtime. So you technically can use that debug build, but it's like, it's just easier in the overall grand process of things to keep the profiles separate. So
Definitely,
I mean,
definitely. Um, okay, so we've got our APK. So do I just want to
sweet.
like copy this path? Is that like what you like? Should I just say copy this and then put that in?
It's completely up to you. You can use this giant path if you want, and it's going to work completely fine. If you don't like using giant paths, if you want to make it smaller, you can put in a prettier looking folder structure. So, nothing wrong or right here, to be honest. So all you're doing is go into App Manager, line number 42,
42. Okay.
and yep. So just like uncomment it out and replace it within the double quotes. Yep. Oh
Do
my God!
that.
Come on, live share, update.
And does it matter? We have the unsigned and then we have the signed version. Does it really matter
It
which?
it doesn't really care, honestly.
Okay.
That's fine. You can pick whichever, as long as like the path is correct and it understands it.
So let me just grab that.
I feel like my live share is being dumbass again. Yeah, now it's not even showing me your updates on App Manager. This is so weird.
Okay. So we have that. I think I'd have to look. I'll leave it like that. I can refine that path later, right? So
Yep,
okay.
you can leave that. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
I wouldn't touch that right now. Yep. So let's do this now. Okay, so you have the path in there,
Mm-hmm.
App Manager setup, still hasn't updated for me. Dang it. Okay. Let's build the UI test project. And the way you have it set up now, you need to open up your test pane on Visual Studio so you can see the actual tests. So it's Test Explore, no, not Test Explorer.
It's not
What's
the
it
Test
called?
Explorer. Okay.
No, it's not Text. Is it Text Explorer? It's not Text Explorer, is it? I keep forgetting what the name of that pane is. Let's go View.
Yeah, I mean this isn't really showing, which is I don't know. There it is. I mean, I can see the. Let me.
No, you have to build the test once though. It doesn't load it unless you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Huzzah. All right. Yep. So run the REPL for Android. Perfect.
See if I can make that. Can I increase the size in there?
Try Control plus plus inside of it.
Whoa. I don't know what just happened there.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Nope. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry.
Well, I tend to just zoom into it. I don't remember how. Did you try the two finger thingy? Maybe that'll yeah, that's a good question. Can you zoom into the test? I don't think so. I do not know if you can zoom into any of the panes in Visual Studio actually. I don't know if there's like a magnifying option in there.
Okay. I think I hit run.
Is like are the tests is there like a green check mark next to them? Did it like go to super fast? Or is it still running?
No, it
I
just
see.
like it's just not doing anything. It says test finish, but it didn't do anything. It didn't actually run anything.
Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, wait, let's go check that test. Did we mess up the test? Let's see. Now it says REPL. We are in a local environment, so that's not gonna mess up.
I mean, we can comment that out, right? And then because this is not really meant for automation anyway. We just want to see like what we need to see.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe do a clean and build of the test project, maybe.
Can do that. Do a clean, do a build.
Oh no. When you did the clean and build, did you clean the Android folders too, or did you just clean UI test?
Just UI test.
Okay. So the APK is
APK is still
right?
there. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, maybe okay, try yes, okay, so go back to the test pane. Let's try right click and run the test maybe. Maybe double click isn't happy.
Yeah,
Also another bug. Haha, Test Explorer does not share. So fun. So many things. Okay. All right. So
it's just like a total fail here. It's just not wanting to do its thing.
this is so odd. It should not
What if I do a
be doing
debug?
this. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh no. Did I just disconnect from your session? No, something just spazzed out. Hold on. I'm looking at the test. In the output window, let's see. It doesn't like something.
Well, what if I go back to debug here? Because it doesn't really matter for the UI tests, right? Because
Oh, okay, there we go. There's an issue. Okay, so object reference set to null. So in the output window, if you filter to tests instead of debug,
okay, no test matches given the test case filter, fully qualified. UI test REPL. Well, that doesn't even make sense.
I know. So what does that mean? Open up your package. Open up your packages. Add in NUnit test adapter for NUnit 3. I think that's what it needs. I think we missed a unit. We may have missed one package.
This one right here, the NUnit 3 test adapter, right?
Yes. Add that in.
Okay.
I think maybe that's what it was missing. And then let's just rebuild the test project.
Okay.
So I was told you don't need that anymore, just because we used to use that before because we were still on the dependency was still on NUnit 2, but ever since it moved over to NUnit 3, I assumed you don't need that package anymore. But I'll also be honest, I haven't done this on a Windows machine for at least a month now. So, and I have clearly forgotten everything when I went on vacation. So I should just tell Alex not to let me go on vacation anymore. So, okay, error. All right. I don't even see that error message over here. Android SDK not found. Haha.
Failure. Okay.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So note to the world, whoever's watching, you still need NUnit 3 test adapter. It seems you doesn't like it without it.
It would definitely seem that way.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I need to go into options. Is it?
Yeah, and I think it also needs your your Windows, need to set Android home also. You may want to just confirm that.
Yeah. So the SDK is right here, right?
Okay, I'm going to rearrange my setup a bit. Let's move
Android home. Let's see, environment.
Oh, no, that was bad. You here.
System variables. Where's path? Cool. Okay. So oops. Oh no. We didn't want it on the path. I'm an idiot. We actually needed it as, what was it? Android home, I think?
Yeah. Yep, Android_home, all caps.
Okay, now the next question is, do I have to restart Visual Studio for it to pick that up?
Excellent question. We will find out right now. Why don't you just rebuild the test?
Now that you finally kind of have LiveShare working?
I'm getting so my LiveShare is currently at the state where anything you type in the tests.cs file, I'm able to see. I'm getting all your build outputs and your test outputs. That's how I was able to diagnose some stuff, I guess.
Okay, so I'm gonna kill this real quick and then restart Visual
Okay.
Studio.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So maybe when we restart this live share instance, maybe it'll work better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but I have like a ton of feedback to give them now, so this is great.
Sandbox. Okay.
But yeah, this is a good thing though. It forced me to update my Windows machine now. I've been procrastinating for a while. If Alex is watching, he'll know I lied to him that I was back on the Windows machine. But yes.
Okay, let me do a clean on here as well, and then I'll do a rebuild.
Okay, hold on. Let me. So the live share link should be the same, right? Do you still, or do you have to share it with me again?
No, I have to share it with you again.
Oh, interesting. I thought it sustains the link. Weird.
No, it does not. It does not. Actually, I'm going to send it to you on... where's my mouse? Okay. I really hate that. Like, your mouse like disappears on you. I'm going to send it to
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send it to you on Twitter there, since it'll mess with the video if I do it on Skype.
Okay. Oh, I think it vibrated. No, something else.
Okay.
Okay, let me. Oh yeah, got it. Put up Twitter on this machine.
I'll try to run this REPL one more time here. Or 100 more times, I don't know. However many times it takes.
Yep. It keeps spouting out error messages on what it needs.
Okay. It's still telling
Weird.
me the same thing. Like, I mean...
What about under Xamarin and under the Visual Studio options? It does have the path to Android Home over there, right?
Mm-hmm. That's where I got the path from.
Oh, nice. Okay, so all of that is set up. So all of that is okay, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. This is so new. Okay. Let me think. What else could this be?
I'm just thinking, like, maybe this is something I need to chat with Pierce on, like, you know, have it kind of doing some checks to ensure that the environment is correct. So, like, it's great that we have the option set. Now, like, let's make sure that the environment variables exist that should.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, completely agree. I'm trying to like literally just think if there's something else we missed in that setup. And I feel like I had this issue before, once upon a time long ago. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do what I always do. Let's see if the peoples online have figured this out.
You know, I just love, by the way, like I'm noticing like little things that they've been lighting up lately, like this enable Android X migrator. I mean that's just awesome just to have that, and I love the auto install Android SDKs. That was always such a pain.
Oh yeah. I'm loving that feature.
I had that because I just reinstalled my preview version, and which actually might be why some of this is all screwy. But
oh, you think it's maybe clashing with that? I don't think so. I have like 5 versions on this.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm not sure what happened. But you know, with the whole like hot restart, because I was on the early alpha builds and everything, like everything just got screwy when they released it in the last preview. And so it's like I just had to like wipe it out and then reinstall Visual Studio.
Gotcha.
Slowly getting there though.
Okay, no, so we're hitting Android Home not found.
iOS tests are not supported on Windows. I'm shocked.
Haha.
And I noticed that the team was very lazy with their exceptions. They just went with a base system exception.
Oh yeah. I wish I was on that team. I'd know more on what happens behind the scenes. But yeah,
Yeah, should we
why
try
don't
VS
we?
Mac here, or what do you
No,
think?
I'm like, why don't you try opening up the emulator
Mm-hmm.
and then, so just like have the emulator up and running and then try running the test. Maybe that'll.
Do that, I guess, here.
Mm,
Hopefully this will work.
maybe it'll work. Um,
Why has the build been canceled?
uh-oh,
Oh,
not
okay.
me. Did I do something?
No.
I'm still on.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So now we can see me try to like figure out the device.
Yeah, this is turned into a hey, let's debug.
Let's debug your development environment.
Yeah. Haven't done this in a long, long time.
Let's just try to set a new one up here. Ooh, I haven't done an Android Q. Should we do an Android Q? Nah.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So we have that base device. What kind of, say, a Pixel 3?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're dreaming, right?
And okay, and just like, and you did update the UI test package just before we started all this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this cannot
So I
be
think this
published.
should be okay. So we'll say create. We'll accept. So nice with this like plugged in. I have fairly decent download speeds here.
Awesome. Dum, dum. Okay, let's see what this thing says.
Zipping.
So the consensus is UI test is unable to find the Android location or install location, but that makes no sense. We set it up correctly.
I mean, unless I need to reboot the entire Windows side, which we can do without destroying the stream here, but
Nah.
oh, hypervisor. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah. So in order to do this, I'm probably just gonna have to do VS for Mac here.
Let's try this one last thing. So if the emulator refuses to... Oh wait, you said you had a device connected too, right?
Yeah, I have a device connected.
Why didn't this... it should be... Well, ideally it should default to the device if it has a device connected. If it is not defaulting to the device, that's odd. But it's still throwing that Android home error, which is not making any sense to me. Oh, I think I found some very long rant about this. Let's see.
Programmers that are ranting? No, that never happens.
Oh man. Okay. So this says, so when you set your path in Windows, you set Android_home with the full path, and
Yeah.
then you added Android_home. Oh my God, I think it literally just needs the path to be qualified. Okay, how do I get this? Okay, I'm going to do some very odd copy pasting here. Hold on. I'm going to put this in the Twitch chat, Twitch thing, because I think everybody watching might want to learn this at some point.
Yes. Definitely. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to go back and forth from Windows to Mac to Windows.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, let me grab that main issue also that I found this in while I'm doing this whole process. Okay, so this is the giant rant that I found, which is gorgeous.
Okay.
I love long rants. Oops, what did I do? Oh.
God, you're not kidding.
Okay, so this is the rant. So, yep. So, if you want to start at the rant, but I think you've actually done the first 3 steps in that rant correctly. So, I don't think that's a problem. That's why I sent the direct link to step number 4 in that rant. And the last bit is doesn't we don't need to do that in the rant anymore because we have NUnit 3 support now. It's for NUnit 2
Sure.
things. So
So
yeah, but I think that's the thing I wanted to check. Yeah, so there's the path stuff, correct? Okay, let me switch over to this machine.
okay, so I think we just need to add some stuff to the path is what it
Yeah.
looks like. So
Yeah,
what?
so it needs like platform tools and like /tools/platform tools. It's all there in that Stack Overflow thing. That's beautiful. So
Okay, let's see. So what is this? The path. So we're adding the Android Home tools and Android Home platform tools.
yep.
Okay. So where was? Let me just. Don't mind the angry dog upstairs. Okay. So we'll say /tools and then /platform tools. Okay. Again, things I feel that they really should check for.
I know.
Where
It's yeah. This is kind of sad. It shouldn't have been this way.
all of a sudden,
Oh wow. What?
I don't know why all of a sudden this decided to pop out.
Oh, you're seeing that. My Visual Studio is in a very odd state of like it's debugging something, but I don't have anything debugging, so I'm not sure what's happening anymore.
Huh? Oh,
I'm not gonna.
that's why.
Oh, okay, that was you. Okay, thank God. I was like, something's going crazy here.
Okay, so now that makes more sense.
I don't know if you need a restart. That's the only thing this giant post doesn't say anything about having to restart the machine. So I would say clean and build and try again. So
What just happened?
what was the emulator situation? Were you able to launch it or did that crap out?
No, the emulator is like toast here. So there's like
But you have your device connected.
yeah, there's a hypervisor issue. Like I'll have to figure out what's going on. Like now
No,
it's
that's
kind of
fine,
coming
that's fine.
back to me. Like because I'm running Windows.
Yeah.
With
So
parallels and
don't mess
everything.
with that.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna.
I'd say don't mess with it. Just keep your Android device connected. That's it.
Yeah.
Make sure that's plugged in. So did we get a new error from the tests? Because
No,
no.
no, I was
Okay,
just rebuilding here. So
Oh yeah,
let's
okay, there we go.
kind of okay. So we'll try building this or running it. I mean,
Yep, go for it. I am staring at the
still
output
not
thing.
found.
Oh boy. I think a path change needs a system restart. Now that I think about it.
I think it's just I'm gonna try Visual Studio because I've done path changes, but like
Okay.
usually like when I do like a path change or something, like if I'm in PowerShell or something
Right.
like that, like I just have to restart PowerShell and then it'll pick up the path change.
Gotcha.
Okay, so do this again. Okay. We'll get this. There, okay. You know, one thing I feel like would be a huge improvement, by the way, on this would be like
Uh-huh.
if since I'm on Windows and we know iOS is not supported, if it just like disabled the iOS and just like
Yeah, okay, so
said
this no,
that.
no, no. Okay, so this isn't technically VS's fault. This is kind of just how the page object pattern is set up. Just because if the way the test fixture is, so
Mm-hmm.
this is the information that so this is literally just relaying all the information.
Yeah,
Uh,
but it would just be great like if we had a very easy way just to like say, hey, we're on Windows, don't do this.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 I completely understand. This is actually, that's what, this is technically out, like the page object pattern's
Yeah.
fault, not, because so the test
Okay.
pane literally just translates all the information provided to it from NUnit.
Sure.
And we are telling NUnit, if you open up the test fixture, you see it has both iOS and Android test fixtures set up.
Okay.
So, in that, so if you comment out the iOS test fixture, automatically that test will disappear. So
No worries.
this is literally a direct translation between what we are doing versus what like basically what we are providing NUnit, and the mismatch is kind of over there. So I would love to blame VS for this, but it's unfortunately not their fault.
Well, no, it's
They,
not their fault. Like, it would just be great if there was some like more magical way that it could
right.
figure it
I mean
out, right? Like,
that would involve, us maybe having a layer that tells NUnit that, hey, since you're even if the system is telling you that, we are sort of doing this, but we're not doing this. Yeah, it's like it's a bit of a mismatch. I mean, I would love to get some way to get this to play better, but yeah, I don't think there's a nice way to do it right now. This is literally just the way page object pattern is set up, because these are cross-platform tests.
yeah.
Like
Well,
the
I don't
best way
think
to
it
think
really
about
would be page object pattern though, because wouldn't it be like even if you weren't doing page object pattern, like wouldn't it still kind of be the same? Because like just how we set up tests on like the platform, because like you're injecting
yeah.
the platform in.
No, no. So this is basic. No, that's what I'm trying to say. So this is kind of how NUnit is, and the way we have page objects set up, piggybacking off NUnit, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you um, when you add a Xamarin.Forms project in, and you make a brand new Xamarin.Forms project on Windows, we don't hide the iOS project. You still see the folder and stuff
Yeah.
there. So it's the same similar concept. So you're setting up a cross-platform UI test using the page object pattern. So NUnit sees, and you'll see the iOS stuff. It just won't run. So
Yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
entirely sure like the best way to handle it. Though it's like it would involve. That's all. It would basically involve VS having to talk to NUnit and letting it know that, hey, if you see this test fixture iOS sort of string, ignore it and don't like hide it or something like that. That's actually the only way to do it at this point. Don't think there's any other way we could intervene, unfortunately. Yeah. But if we ever figure out how to get like that iOS folder to get hidden in
Like, I don't think you need to hide it. I would just like disable it, right? So that
disable
way,
it,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, same thing. If you ever get that iOS project to get disabled on VS for Windows,
Well, at
you'll be
least we
done
have a
for.
new error now.
All right, what do we have? Android SDK.
Hold on.
Okay. This is go back to that giant rant.
Hold on.
Um,
Oh, I think I might know what's
if
going.
you have the giant rant open,
Oh
if
no.
you
Okay.
read the comment in the giant rant, I think the second comment fixes it.
To set
I'm so glad I found this rant. I'm gonna bookmark this page. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need it at some point.
You're talking like where they say to do this in like the advanced system property settings, because like that's how I set everything.
I know. I think what you need to actually do is just go into your Android tools and delete any of those. They do platform tools dot old platform, like like the older. Maybe just delete all the extras and just keep make sure the versions are matching on what we're trying to use, and like because that's what this comment says basically. So in the Android SDK folder, I had to delete platform tools dot old. So like basically get rid of any old unnecessary folders in there, in that path. Horrible way of explaining this instructions, but yes.
Yes. So Platform old. Okay, gotcha. So we'll delete
Right.
that.
So delete that. Maybe that's that's what this thing says. It worked after deleting it.
Okay, we don't need to delete anything else. We're good with this, right?
According to this thing, yes.
Okay.
We're good with this.
Okay. And
I'll go spy and read the rest of these comments just to make sure, but I think that was it. Okay, there could be another potential issue, but we'll see. I know what. I'm waiting for that error message to appear.
oh, I have an app launching on my device. So
Device? Sweet! And just gotta wait for REPL to pop up and we know we're golden.
there we go. And let me also launch Visor here. That way people can see what's going on.
I see REPL. I see it. Oh my god, yes! Environment setup woes are complete. All right.
Sweet. Okay.
Good job, Ryan. Good job. Okay.
Thank you for walking me through this here. I don't know that I would have gotten this far so fast.
No problem. Okay. So now that we're in business, this is good.
Okay.
Let me open up my VS myself. So if I can maybe. Oh no, I need you to live share me again. But if actually you don't need much a live share right now.
Okay.
Let's go into what you basically need to do now we can actually start setting up pages and doing. But do you remember how REPL works? Have you used REPL before?
It's been a while since I've used REPL.
Okay.
So and I'm sure there's probably someone watching who's maybe never done this. So let's kind of go through this. Like, how do we get started?
Sure. So REPL is read, eval, print loop. So what it's doing right now is it's constantly going to be pinging or debugging with, it's constantly like pinging your app that's open right now. So we'll type in what we call queries because this is so we're testing. So we're querying for different elements on the screen. So we'll be querying, we'll be doing actions, and this REPL loop will basically just be constantly looping and sending those queries and actions to the app. So right now the app's open on your device. So the stuff that we'll do on the REPL will correlate exactly to what you see on the device. So what you see is what you get. Literally, when you're working with UI Test, you can only interact and only query with stuff that's currently visible on the screen.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is the next few minutes, what we'll do is we'll do the page setup for UI Test. Right.
Okay.
So there's going to be, your workflow is going to be like, we're going to do some querying on the REPL that's open right now. And based on the results that we get, we're going to switch. So don't kill REPL. We'll sort of be just switching back and forth between the windows. So we'll switch over to Visual Studio, set up the pages, and then again come back into REPL, do some more work, and back and forth. So we're going to use the next couple of minutes just to like set up the pages that are part of the page object pattern. Okay. So. Awesome. Let's do that then. So, but before that, let's do a couple of like basic REPL commands just to get you like,
like we have a hamburger menu, right? So like maybe how do we open the hamburger menu from
excellent.
here?
Okay, good question. Let's see. So in your REPL type tree, TREE.
Okay.
And then once you do that, you should see like sort of like a dump.
We should see an exception.
Oh no! Did your phone disconnect? No, right? Oh man! Okay,
we'll try it again.
Dang it! It's supposed to be magical.
I think we waited too long. We were talking about it too long, and by the time we did it hung up the connection.
Sounds like it. I wish I could live share REPL windows, but
that would be great.
Sadly, not there yet. Technology.
Okay, so now we have this.
Okay, wait. Before you do move ahead, did you message the live link, the new live share link to me already?
I didn't start a new session. I can though.
Okay. Fine. No, just checking. So let me do this. Let me stare at your Twitch window here. So I am not looking in 100 different directions as I am right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to switch over. Okay, I see my face. This is so weird, but okay. Much better.
Okay. Hopefully you should see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to oh, there we go. So I'm just waiting for it to load a bit. Okay, so we're looking for, can you pull up visor next to this window so we know what we're dealing with? We are looking for your hamburger menu. So I think hamburger menu is action underscore bar underscore root. So basically what we're looking at right now is an hierarchy of all of the visual elements on the screen that's open right now. So like you'll start noticing the text, you'll start noticing the buttons, you'll start noticing the texts, right? Since this is a Xamarin.Forms app, one tip I can suggest is there's a element or a button that you're trying to like interact with and you're finding it really hard to query for. What you can do is go back to your form solution and add an automation ID to those elements.
Okay.
So in your XAML, but see, this, right for now, it'll involve us having to rebuild the APK, and I don't want to do that. But for the future,
so we had like a automation ID on the content page, but I'm kind of gathering like we don't want it on the content page.
No, you want to put it. You want to put it everywhere. The more automation IDs, the better.
Well, we don't have anything that just says like menu in here. Like I'm not seeing menu in the tree. So
let's see. So it depends on what. Sometimes UI test catches it. Sometimes it doesn't. So let's see. This is the master detail. Oh, so this is the content page for the master detail. You'll see that as soon as the flyout menu opens. It's not visible on the screen right now. That's why you're not seeing menu.
Oh,
yet.
I see. Okay. So
yeah.
So there's not really a good way to get that automation ID onto that icon to say like
on that hamburger menu.
Yeah.
We could actually try. So go back to that Forms app. So show me your Solution Explorer again. I wonder if there's like.
Well, because we have our master detail page here, so that's what we're looking at. Is our master detail.
Yeah. Let me get back to you. I know I have done this before. I did put an automation ID on the actual hamburger menu. I forget where I did it exactly. But apart from the hamburger menu, if there's a button or if there's something else on the screen that you're having a hard time writing the query for, a good way to like get around it is to literally just go in and add automation IDs, and it'll make it much easier for you to query for it. But looking at what you have right now, to get to that hamburger menu, my first guess is let's see, you have a tab layout, tab layout. I see all the buttons. I think it's action bar root, right? So what I'm going to say is what you're going to do. So let's query for it. So what you're going to do is app.query in the REPL window. And REPL has IntelliSense, so you don't have to worry about,
okay.
Yeah, so you want to do query, and you just keep tabbing. Then you want to do the lambda statement, so that's X.
Okay.
And then it'll autocomplete that for you, and then you want to do dot query.
Query platform.
Oh, sorry, no, not query platform. Sorry. X. My bad. X dot marked. Let's go with marked. Marked is my favorite because it does a good. Yep, and then in double quotes, put in action bar root. You can also copy paste from the REPL window. So if you don't want to type it, and close that and enter. Let's see. I'm on a couple seconds of delay, so this is going to be
no worries.
Yep. Okay, we got something. Okay, now hit the up button because this has history, and change query and make it flash.
Okay.
And then let's stare at the visor window to see if the element that we are expecting it to be flashes or not. Oh, no. Leave that over there. Leave marked. So the lambda statement stays the same. You want to change where you had app.query, you want to make that app.flash.
Oh, app.flash. I gotcha.
Yeah. So app.flash is basically what it does. It'll visually flash the element on the app. So sort of like, hey, I don't know where it is. I'm guessing this could be it. Okay, no. Okay, so that did the whole screen. Okay, so let's so why don't you tree for me again, and then let's see if we can find out where this could be. So that's definitely not it. I wonder if it's so ABC is the sliding tabs. How about you try navigation bar background? I'm just going to try a bunch of different things
navigation bar background. Where I don't even see that.
Right at the bottom. Oh, wait. Don't do that. Instead. do content. I was just reading the whole tree. I should have been paying more attention. You have ID content over there. Yeah, so change action bar root to just content. Let's see what flashes that. Yeah.
Well, that kind of looked like the whole page as well. So.
Ah, dang it. Okay, let's try what's underneath content in that tree. Okay. Either tree again or scroll up. Yeah, okay.
Okay. There's a lot of these that are just like the whole page.
Wow, what is happening? Okay. Okay, so that's okay. So look, so everything in the square brackets are what is the type of that element? The best it can guess, right? Okay, 1 second. What is so? Do you see action menu item? Below that. Keep going below, like where the save and reset. No. Okay, go back to the tree.
Okay, go back to the tree. Okay.
Yep, and look for the save and reset buttons over there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We have.
Yeah.
We have these right here.
Yeah. So try. I don't know what that menu label OK is. Try that word that says toolbar over there. Try flashing toolbar. Let's see what that flashes.
Okay.
I think it's actually that app compat image OK, but let's try with toolbar first.
So we're in the right area, it looks like this time.
Yeah. Okay, so now try replacing toolbar with OK in caps. No spaces, just O and a K. And I'll show you where it was in the tree, if that actually is what this is.
Yeah, that flashed the icon.
Okay. So type tree again. I'll show you where it was.
So right here, right?
Yeah. So within the toolbar, every time there's like a tab in the hierarchy, those are the children in that main view. So if you go backwards, so within the toolbar, there's a save button, a reset button, view A, and then there was this thing that said OK, but I couldn't see the words OK. So I just maybe it's calling that hamburger menu image OK. So it was a bit of guesswork.
That's definitely confusing.
Yeah. This comes after lots of staring at REPLs for a long time. It's not some superpower I possess. It's just having seen it a bunch of times. But yeah, okay. So that's our hamburger menu. Sweet.
Okay.
That's cool. And then looks like we have all the buttons that are called save and reset. All the other buttons are navigate. Okay. So let's start setting up this page.
So I'm just curious. So before we do that, right? So we want to if I say marked OK, and then what can we do here?
Okay, so suppose you want to tap on it. So you want to do so to tap on something. So everything happens on the app. So delete everything that you're tapping right now. So you don't need to do first and any of that.
Oh, okay.
Instead, go all the way back to where you have app.query. So delete the word query.
And just do tap. Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the IntelliSense, that's where you'll see all of the gestures over there. So anything you want to, the first step is always to query to find the element, and then you go app dot, and then you can see all of the different gestures that you can do on that element. So what's up? Is it not tapping?
We tried double tap. I don't know. I don't use Android. Come on now.
Don't think it should be a double tap though, but
I don't either. But
that feels a little odd to me. But okay.
Oh, you know what? I think I just had. I think it inserted something I didn't want. Okay, yeah, no, it was a single tap. I just had. I messed up.
There
the
you
syntax.
go.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
That's what
sweet.
it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet. So now so basically at this point it's a good stage to start setting up the actual page in your code.
Okay. So
leave everything open.
Yep. Before we do that, so now kind of I have this because I know a lot of people do use hamburger menus. So this is kind of something a lot of people I think we kind of use, right? So now I have this hamburger menu. I've automated, or I have the query here in order to open the menu. And obviously we have overflow, so there's a scroll view there. So kind of like what would be like the appropriate way now to say, now that I've tapped this, I've opened that up, like how do I scroll this down? Like kind of walk me through that. Like what?
So right now, okay, so if your test involves, okay, first step of your test is to open the nav menu. Second step is to select an option from this giant scroll that you have in your side menu. The way I would set this up is I'd have a separate, I'd put, so this is a shared menu, right? The Hamburger menu can be accessed from any of these pages that you go to.
Correct.
So first thing I would do is set this up in the base page, because it's a shared view for all the different pages. So I can share the same setup logic, like the actions that we'll set up to like tap these buttons. I want it to be shared with everything else.
Definitely.
And the second thing I'd want to do is make it a parameterized method that you create. So the name of the thing could be select menu item, and you pass in a string of what option you wanted to tap on. And the logic in the test itself to do that would basically be, so in scroll view, you have, so if you just do, so in your REPL right now, so just do app dot.
Okay.
In the REPL menu, just type app dot. I'm going to use IntelliSense to remember the method I'm looking for. So if you look within that, you see scroll to, and there's a bunch of different options within scroll to. So scroll down to, scroll up to, scroll horizontal start. So what you could basically use is you could use scroll to and pass in the string that you wanted to scroll to. So then UI test will programmatically just scroll and find that option for you. To make your tests a little less brittle, what I like to do is if I know for sure that anytime I open this menu, it's always going to start right at the top, I'm going to put scroll down to, and then tell it scroll down to this string value I want you to go to. So, so it's like, and then that way you can use the parameter that was passed as a string, and then, just in the test itself, all you're doing is select menu option and just put in the string to what you wanted to tap on. So.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's how I'd set this up. It's not tricky.
This is kind of where like having, because like we have like a lot of different things here, like dialogue, whatever, show dialogue. So probably having like the automation IDs set to like
exactly
that way we have like this exact element I want to go to. Is really going to help us there.
Yep. The UI test will be as smart as you make your app, and as smart as as much of information that you provide to it. So putting in a lot of like automation IDs, of course, making them as unique as possible. And like I said, and making these scroll strategies as specific as you can make them will make your tests a lot more stronger. Like I said, so like right now you use scroll to. If it was me, I'd actually use scroll down to, because I know for sure that I'm not saving the state of my side menu, so it always resets the scroll view right back to the top. So it's always going to have to scroll downwards, because if you leave it as scroll to, the system will sort of programmatically determine to go up or down, and then it sort of like adds a little bit more time to your tests. So make your tests as smart as you can, and make them like I said, make them as robust as you can, so they're like less brittle. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So it'll do it exactly as you want it to. So and then so you scroll down and then you tap. That's it. So super straightforward. Very very. This is not too hard to sort of automate.
Fantastic. So and I would imagine obviously to dismiss this we want to like swipe was it left, right? I can't remember.
Tripod.
Or hold on, I think it's right to left.
So pick the one that you need. There's both options.
Does it take an argument or anything? Or
no, it's just empty. Okay. So just close it and enter. Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So, and then one other thing, I mean, obviously this has been running for a while, but like if I wanted to do just a very simple, like just kind of get started and kind of show people like, hey, our process kind of has some sort of validation, right? Like, and I know if you're building in App Center, like they have this automatic test that is already there to just say like, hey, my app launches. But like if I was going to write this myself, like what would be the best way to do that?
So you want to write like just a blank app launch test? Is that what you want to do?
Like just like, does the app launch, right? Like if that's like if that's, did we crash on startup or did we launch?
Gotcha.
Right?
Oh, no, totally fine. That's super simple. So if you go back to that test file that we have right now?
Sure.
It's easier for me to explain it over there. So what you want to do is if you just open up, so instead of calling it REPL, you can call this launch test. That's what App Center calls it. So,
okay. And should I, let me, like, what is it, exit is the best way?
Yep, just type exit. Yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to stop running that for now. Okay. So we have a new test here and avoid app launches.
Yep, app launches, exactly. Okay. And then inside of it, all you want to do is, so there's all you want, so this by default will launch your app. But what only thing you need to add here is just do app.screenshot. So just type app.screenshot and pass the string app launched. That's basically the title of the screenshot that you'll see in App Center. So everything you put in here is what you'll see in the report.
Okay.
Right? So but to make this a little more useful though, what I like to do is put in, so you can put in like a what's it called? Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm completely blanking out. System.wait, like something like, just like
or app.wait.
Pause. Yeah, like not an app.wait. If you do app.wait, you have to give it like element that you're waiting for.
Okay.
So no, we actually have this in things not to do. But in a situation like this where you're not writing.
But you might want to do this like let's just say for instance, because like you obviously like you have your native launch screen that you might do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like I might come into Xamarin.Forms and then I might have and I've like had to do this sometimes where I have like a Xamarin.Forms. Like I have a Xamarin.Forms launch screen, and that's kind of like where I'm now like doing some business logic. Maybe I have something that's actually animated now.
Yep.
And I'm going, okay, do I have a user that's authenticated? Can I get the refresh token? So like there's some sort of like async thing I'm doing. So I still want to like get to that first page. So if I wanted to do that, like I would probably want to do wait for element, right?
Yes. Okay. So that's using app.wait for element is the correct and the recommended way to do it. And like, so basically pick an element that would appear on the screen right after the splash screen goes away. So like your home page or whatever is the first launch page it's expected to be on. If possible, I'm not sure how your apps are set up, but if possible, what the first element that will launch, use that as your target. So wait for this element to appear and then app.screenshot. But if you're in a situation where you don't want to launch REPL at all you want to do is just like this, all it's doing is just an app launch test. What you could do is just put a thread.sleep for like, 10 seconds or something, or 5 seconds, and then put app.screenshot. So, so that'll basically like, before it takes app.screenshot, it just like wait for 10 seconds, right? So that's what you can do right now if you want. So thread.sleep.
Thread.sleep.
Yep. And it'll ask you to pull in the using statements, whatever it needs. And yes, you want to put in some time in there so from minutes or from seconds, whatever you need. So
we'll say 3 seconds. I don't want to wait forever. I got places to go. Things to do.
Exactly, yeah. Also, a note to anyone trying this, if you see our wiki, if you see my blog post, we strongly recommend never to use thread.sleep. The main reason for that is App Center test minutes are paid for. And if you don't have a check on how many of these you have, you're basically adding more and more time onto your complete tests, your test run, and that's more minutes getting used up. So if you're also on like a tight crunch on how many test minutes you want to spend, try avoiding using thread.sleeps. Using app wait for is much better, because as soon as it finds the element, it kills it automatically and it moves ahead. There's no logic of that sort with thread.sleep. It's going to wait for the full time. It's not going to stop as soon as something happens. So
perfect.
Yep.
Oh, whoa!
Oh,
that just kind of messed things up here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, but so like I said, if your only purpose is literally just to have this like just this one test, that's all it's doing is just launching and taking a screenshot, this is fine. But if in the future you do go in and launch REPL and get a few, like have a little more structure, I would recommend removing the thread.sleep and putting an app.wait for.
An app.wait for. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so this is the recreation of that exact App Center test that you get for free when you check marks that little box.
Do they actually do the thread.sleep? I'm guessing, yeah. Like, do you know how long it is?
I am not sure, actually. Unfortunately, I am not 100% sure what how long they wait for, or if they just immediately launch the app and take a screenshot.
Okay. But this is like a very
Yeah.
easy cheater test, though. Either way, so.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Literally, like this is what I usually tell people. If you don't want to write tests, it's completely fine. If you just put in this one default test, so this is the default test that you get when you add file new project UI test, like not page object UI test, but just UI test. If you do project new add new UI test project, this is the free test that you get. Only there's no thread.sleep. It's only in an app.screenshot. Even if you launch that and you run that, that's enough information just to get started. So
fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. So and it looks like President Not Sure has had trouble using UI test with Shell. Have you?
What trouble exactly? I have managed to UI test like multiple shell apps, so I need to know what exact trouble you've been facing. I'd love to know what troubles you've been facing. I'm curious. Yeah.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll find out what kind of trouble. Anyway.
Oh yeah. If you do want a sample of what the shell, like, so this wasn't on the new shell stuff. This is when shell was very early. I think the Tradewind sample is still on GitHub. And you can see my UI tests in there if you are curious. And there's some Xamarin Show episode that I did it live also. So if you're curious to watch me struggle through it, also you can go ahead and do it.
Well, I don't think you were struggling so much on the Xamarin Show, but...
it looked like that. We're great at editing.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of editing. No, I'm sure no.
But yeah. Cool, yeah. So what do you want to call that page? Is it home page? Is it landing page?
Well, I was just kind of creating some things, so like say like I got like
so I wouldn't suggest just like creating pages on the fly. Keep it structured. Create pages that you are currently on. So we just did the REPL.
So like the detail page, like when you first get to the home page, like the first one that you see is actually View A. So it's kind of
View A. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you know your app more than I do. So this is good. So now what I'm going to tell you to do is go. Do you still have our GitHub sample open?
Somewhere.
So this is what I do. Yeah, I was like, this is what I do because I can never remember things. So now I always go back to this sample. So again, now let's go back to go into the pages folder and just open any one of the pages.
Okay. So
okay, I'm going to wait for Twitch to catch up for a second. Okay, so what you want to do now is, do you see that alias on line 7? You want to copy that. So that's going to make writing those queries really easy.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just going to move this off to the side here, so that way I can go back and forth. Oop, well, that's the wrong place.
Yeah, I'll tell you what stuff to copy over. Yeah. So once you get that alias, the next thing you want to copy is, so not copy, you see that this page inherits from base page. So why don't you go ahead and add that?
Okay.
And the next thing you want to copy over is line 17, that whole protected override platform query. Sorry, not line 17, line 19, my bad.
Sure.
Copy that whole thing over. So this is the next important thing to set up. I think, is that it? Wait. anything else I needed to copy while I'm here? Nope, that's it. Everything else we'll have to set up on our own. Okay, so what this platform query is, it's basically what is the basis of the whole logic of page object pattern. So this is what you set up here is basically a unique element that is unique to this page. So something that tells this like this pattern that, okay, I'm on the expected page, which over here is view A. So if I can find this element, I can confirm that, yes, I am on the correct page.
Okay.
That's all this basically means. So right now, since we're not doing iOS, you can delete the query in iOS and just put null over there so that you don't get any build failures.
Well, we shouldn't get a build failure. I mean,
yeah, but when you look back on this page later on in the future, you'll be like, oh, iOS is null. I need to go put in the iOS trait to get this to work on iOS.
So point, yeah.
Yeah. So and now we need to go fill in the blanks for Android. So if you want to launch up REPL again, we can start filling the blanks for this page and setting up an action and just like a simple test for this page. So like now when you go back on your Mac, and one random day, 6 months in the future, when you open up this test and this page, you'll be like, oh no, I left iOS null. But the beauty of it will be, we'll have this whole page done. All you have to do is just fill in the blanks with these iOS traits and the whole test will work.
Okay.
Perfectly on. There's nothing else you have to do.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Cool. Okay,
so we wanted, what was the tree, right?
Yep.
So we'll do the tree.
And there's like a bunch of stuff on this page. You can pick whatever you want, honestly, just to make this to be your unique trait on this page. You could be any of those button names. You could be one of like a title, anything, basically.
Yeah, so I think, let me just... So
why don't you take the text in it? So you can just use marked. So like want to new page or something like that.
I think this module A, let me look at this real quick. So what are resources? Yeah, so I gave these some automation IDs already. So
okay, let's see.
So like if here's my REPL here. So I have that title label, right? So so it's got the ID like number resource entry 26, right?
No, so it's got the ID, but you see the label value is your automation ID value.
Yep. So I should be able to do the query with that automation ID right there.
Yes, you should be. So the weird part about how automation ID works is it unfortunately cannot override those IDs because those are auto-generated by Android. So instead, it tries and sets like the label or like something else that's associated with the properties of that field to match what you set up in the automation ID. So, but the good part is this will stay constant between iOS and Android. So if you use the lambda statement dot marked, what we have right now, that actually inside of Xamarin UI test, it starts with checking for ID, then it checks for a label, then it checks for a text. So it does all of those matches automatically for you. So, so yeah, exactly. So why don't you copy that title label string and just replace it in the page where it already has it already has like the trait set up with marked. So yeah.
So and I can just kind of, instead of keeping that null, I can just copy it and it'll be the same for both.
Yep, exactly.
So
sweet.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is good. So trait setup, this is set up. Next thing you have to do, the next step of this is now to set up the queries. So the queries, we like to put them in the constructor of the page. So actually, no, we don't have to, so we set them. Okay, so if you go back to that sample in GitHub, you'll notice we do read only. So we set the properties up outside. And we just set each query value up like inside the constructor. So if you notice from lines 13 to 17, those are the different elements on the screen. So in the sample app, the Tasky app, those are different buttons and fields you can interact with. But if you look inside the constructor of this page, this has been set up with an if and else for Android and iOS, because when this app was written, the queries were not the same for these buttons. and fields. So we set them up separately. So this is another advantage of using the page object pattern. So you'll have all of the stuff live in one page. You can just separate them based on the query values. So if there's something that's different on each platform, you put it inside the if else. If it's not different, if it's exactly the same, you just put it inside the constructor. You don't have to set up the if else's.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. So let's go set up like a button or two that we can click and interact with on your page.
Okay. So well, actually, let me kill the REPL here real quick. Okay. So we have, let's see.
So like open up your app. I'm just like curious. Think of a very simple like flow. Like what's a simple test that we're testing right now? Like something not too long. Because once we run it on Test Cloud, it'll be nice to on Apps Under Test. It'll be nice to see like the response. So something that's like easy to understand right now.
Yeah. So I mean, like we can just hit like this navigate button and then kind of like I don't remember where it goes exactly. So it goes here. So we actually don't have the hamburger menu over here.
Oh, interesting.
Because this is it's a modal navigation. So
gotcha. But then if you hit go back, does it go back?
Oh crap! It doesn't.
No.
Well, that was fun. Let's
interesting. Okay, so
let's do something different.
What about something simpler? What about
view B?
View B.
Yes, View B will be easier, I think.
Sweet. Okay, so let's make this a really simple test. We'll tap on the button View B and verify it is on View B.
Okay.
Right. So you want to so I think you called So you want to set up read-only query and give it like
read-only
view
query.
B.
Okay.
Yep.
So
if you forget what it looks like, just go check out how we have that sample set up.
Read-only query, and then it was navigate to view B. Okay. And then what do we say? Marked. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So now we've done that.
Yep. Sweet.
Okay.
Now let's put in the action to actually tap on that button. So we're going to create, so if you want to go back to that GitHub, if you want to see how it's done, or basically just creating a method inside of this.
Okay. Yeah, we can take a look here.
Yeah, if you want to look at it, there's like there's two ways that we set this up.
Done.
So if you,
okay.
Yep. So if you see, no, keep scrolling, like right to the bottom. There's like, I want to show you the two ways we do this. Okay. Yes. So if you notice, verify done, you see that's returning the same page type. But if you look at save and delete, those are void.
Yes.
Right. So the difference on when to pick what is, if it's an action that doesn't navigate outside of the page, you want to return the same page back. Because when you're writing the tests, then you can chain in all of these different methods to keep doing various actions within that same page. But if your action is taking you away from the page, you're navigating out of it, it has to be a void because you don't want to be able to do further actions on that page.
Well, what if I want to like go to why not just return like, view B or wherever?
No, so I mean, one would say you should return view B, but you don't know where your different navigation views are going to go. This is just to sort of make it simple to set up your pages and keep it sort of like as clean as possible and not make it too complicated. So it's just really simple. And the concept and the logic, again, the whole principle of page object pattern is you're within the page, you can only do actions on that page. Once you're out of the page, that's it. You should have no context of what page or where you're going. That's it. When you're on a new page, you're going to up a new page. It'll be new home page, new profile page, and that's it. So
perfect.
So for this thing, since we are navigating away and we're going to go to view B, you want to make it a public void.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then we wanted to say, what was it, app.tap.
So now, yes, that's correct, app.tap, and you can just call it, what do you call it, navigate to view B, perfect. But some best practice thing, what I like to do here is, before tapping on the button, what I like to preferably do is I do an app.waitFor and pass in the element just to like be 100% sure that element is on the screen. And why this is not like, and someone would ask me like, hey, I don't want to waste time and my minutes to, wait for a button. The beauty of the way you wait for is if it finds that, and it's a really fast action, it doesn't take too long. So the microsecond that it took to query for that element, if it's already there, it's not going to sit and wait for another 30 seconds. As soon as it's found, it's going to move on to the next step. So you don't lose any time. But this is a great check in case, something went wrong and, maybe the device you're trying to run it on is a bad device.
Sure.
The element just never rendered. So it's a good place to catch it. So that's one thing you did. And the second thing I would do is add an app.screenshot. So that this is all the app.screenshots locally make no sense, but it's all for your App Center test report.
Okay.
So unless you add like some screenshots in here, you're not going to know what's happening. It'll just do the tests and just give you like an empty report because you did not tell it where to take screenshots. So the only other thing, add app.screenshot.
Okay. So yeah, and I was noticing, so we have the screenshot right before we do that actual action. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so this is very arbitrary. You can do it before, you can do it after. It's completely up to you. It's like there's no like rule or like something that's good or bad when it comes to this. It's whatever floats your boat. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So now we just want to go back to our test, I would imagine here, right?
So yeah, let's see. So no, not yet.
Oh, no?
So this action. So what was the result of this action when you tap on that button? It loads view B. So what I wanted, view B. Like it changes the thing to view B. Correct. So view B is a brand new page. So why don't you create a new page that's called view B? And I'll show you a very cool magic trick from page object pattern. I think you'll really like. So. No, you want to make it a brand new separate page. Don't add it over here.
Well, I'm gonna export it. I'm just because it's faster to do this.
Okay, sure. I'd still say make it a new page, but sure. Okay, inherit base. So then scroll all the way up and copy that platform trait thing that you have upstairs.
This thing right here. Okay.
Yep, and then yep, copy that over.
Okay, and let me take a look at VB because I'm sure there's something on here.
View C button, maybe?
Well, no, because the other one has that too. So I'm just if I put an automation ID on the page itself, right? Like if I say,
yeah. Usually it should turn up. But the thing is, right now, since we are using your old APK, so if you rebuild now, we need to make sure it creates a brand new APK for the UI test to use, because right now it's referencing your old APK. Just to remember.
Yes, that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah. So for the purposes of this demo, why don't you just grab title label or something? It's fine. You can go back in and sort of correct this later on.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just grab something.
Okay. So yeah.
So yeah, like we just don't want to confuse.
It's still title label. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. It's cool. Not the ideal way to do it, but it'll work for the purposes of this test, right? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So if you leave this just as is, okay, the beauty of page object is if you go inside base page and just take a look at it, what we're going to use is we're going to use something that we've pre-set up in the base page. So in the base page, as part of the verification using that platform query, we take a screenshot for free that says on the page name. So like on view A or on view B. We're doing a free screenshot for you. Yeah. So we're going to piggyback on this already free setup that we have to write the test right now.
So, and then there's this assert on page from 30 seconds. So we're waiting 30 seconds between.
So if you go look at what happens in assert.page, we sort of like we kick it out as soon as the page, as soon as we verify that the page is not empty.
Okay.
And if it verifies the page is present, it actually does a wait for element for 30 seconds. So it looks like we're using thread.sleep, but we're not. We're actually creating our own little timeout variable that piggybacks off wait for element. So as soon as the element is found, it kicks it off. So if it's found in 2 seconds, it's only spending 2 seconds, but it's going to wait for a total of 30 seconds to ensure that the
Maximum.
page.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And you can come in and override this override this value if your pages need any more time to load.
And luckily, if this is our first page and we're on iOS, we're only going to wait 17 seconds anyway. So.
Exactly. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, in case like some people have a web page or something that gets loaded up first, and you need a little bit more time, just come in here. So our default is 30 seconds. If you need 90 seconds, just come in and put in some more time over here.
Yeah, you have the code, so you have control over that. So
yeah, it's not hidden inside the pack. So the NuGet package, although you're adding that NuGet package, it's doing nothing. It's just a lazy way of adding these base pages as opposed to sort of copy pasting from our GitHub repo. It's all of the code is all right here for you to edit and use and add as much as you need.
Fantastic.
So, sweet.
Okay.
Yep. So view B is done. View B is done. Now let's go to the test.
Okay.
So it's going to be super simple for you to set up that first test.
Okay. So say tests public void can navigate to view B.
Nice.
Okay. So I imagine we kind of want to say like we have view A.
So you want to do new. So you want to do new view A. Don't make it a var. It's just you don't need to store it.
I don't need to store it. Okay.
You don't need to store it. It'll look much. It'll be like a lot. It'll start looking like English a little bit if we do it this way. So I'll tell you why. So
okay.
Try doing. So now I'm on view A. So then dot. And IntelliSense will pick up all of those methods for you.
Okay.
So you want to navigate to view B.
Okay.
So you just IntelliSense magic all the way. Then you want semicolon over there,
okay.
And you want to do new view B. Open close brackets, and that's it. You're done.
Okay. So I'm not doing any assertions or anything because when I did like app.whatever, that already kind of has done that for me.
Yep. So the principle, like again, you want to keep this test as clean as possible because since we're not using like Cucumber or something that makes these tests like sort of like English like to read, this is our way of trying to make these tests as understandable as possible. So if a very like a person who's never seen a UI test or a test before, not even a UI test, comes into this, looks at okay, so there's a test tag, which means this is a test. The purpose of this test is to navigate to view B. So you're starting on view A, you're doing an action called navigate to view B, and that's taking you to view B. That's the kind of, like, that's what you wanted to sort of read like. And all of the actual actions that are taking place, all the assertions, you can still throw an assertion in here if you want to, that's totally fine. But we just like to sort of encapsulate all of that into your page itself because all of the logic that's driving anything that's happening in the page should live within that page. That's it.
Yeah, so I would imagine like, if you have some sort of like dynamic title or something like a label that gets set based on whatever logic, right? Like you might want to like grab an element and then like do an assertion that like the text value of that label is whatever, right? Like
so
that would be where you do the assertion, right?
Yep. So you can do that, and you can set that assertion up in here. You'd notice we tend to put all our assertions back in the page itself. So if you want to go back and look at that GitHub sample, you'll see we have a few
like
assertion
it would still be
Yeah.
wrapped up in the page object model here that we're doing. But
It's
you might have an assertion that you're doing, but like a lot of what we're doing, we may not actually need those assertions.
So you can make that assertion like a brand new method on the page. So, and then you can just call that and like be like verify on page or whatever you want to call it. And you have IntelliSense over here. So you can keep stringing it on. And, there's also like, if you want to do a further separation of tasks, you could request, like if you have like this basic setup done, you could request that the people like the dev team goes in and maybe fills in the blanks a little bit in the pages. And then the test team, if you have a completely separate test team, all they have to do is come into the test file and just start like writing this out. IntelliSense should automatically tell them what are the different actions and what are the different things that they can do on a page.
Okay.
So, however way your test teams are set up, we're trying to find like a good sweet spot in between to help everybody find their way around here. So, this is good to go. You
Perfect.
can build the test now, and we can run it locally on your device. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so we built that, and now let's do this navigate stuff here.
Yep.
And I'll...
Hopefully, it hasn't forgotten where Android SDK is this whole time we've been typing. But
That
yeah.
would be a nightmare.
Another issue I've seen some people have is like, sometimes they forget that REPL is running and they start to like, they start a new test and they're like, oh no, it's not running my tests. Just go and close REPL.
Yeah.
That's it. But
So
yeah, awesome. It did it.
yes, yes, that's fantastic. So and I know
Awesome.
we were doing screenshots too. So like if I come in here, well, I suppose I probably need to go to the right folder, but uh, can I find those somewhere? Like,
So locally, screenshots are disabled by default
oh, okay,
because we don't want to like use up all of your space on your machine just to take 100 million screenshots.
okay,
If you want to enable it, all you have to do is just pop into App Manager, and where we did the path to APK, you can just add another thing there called enable local screenshot. So just before start app. So maybe
okay.
yep. So enable local screenshots and pass through in there.
Oh, do I have to pass through?
Do you have to pass through? I actually
No,
forget.
no, there's nothing there, so it doesn't take
Okay,
any
okay, that's
arguments
it.
at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's it. So this enables it. So by default, it's always disabled because
okay,
screenshots can be like they take up a lot of space. So
definitely.
yeah.
Okay,
But if you are curious, and you'll find them in the run the test, and you'll find them in the bin folder of the test.
okay. So
So
let's do that right now, just to kind of see everything, and we'll. So it's
yeah, so
relaunching.
yeah, let it complete the test, and then you can peek in the bin folder. Bin debug is where you'll find it because I think we ran it in debug, so
Perfect.
that's where it should
Okay.
be.
So it looks like the test finished,
Nice.
and we'll just say open, and we're doing debug right now. So I'm not seeing it there.
Oh, pretty sure it goes to bin debug. That's what I remember it going to.
Well, that's strange. Here. Well, maybe.
Oh, or did it go to the root? Maybe object? Did they change where it goes to?
Let me do a clean here. And
Okay, I'll go check the docs while you do that. Maybe I'm remembering the location wrong. Okay,
I
let's
don't
see.
see anything in the root either. So
Okay, let me see. Xamarin UI Test docs, methods, enable local screenshots. Oh, geez, not what I'm looking for.
okay, so that rebuilt. Let me try rerunning here.
Okay, enable local screenshots. Okay, it doesn't say where it goes to. Odd. Xamarin.
Yeah, I still don't have it here. That's really weird.
That is so weird.
Not here either.
Yeah, okay, I'm checking today. Like,
We'll have to figure that one out. That would be very interesting to know.
oh, great. When did someone downgraded from NUnit 3 to? Oh no, never mind, not there. The screenshots are located in your tests project directory, bin debug folder. That's what it says. It should be going to. And that's weird because you're not seeing it there, are you?
No, I am not.
This is very odd indeed.
That's...
Well, there's one other way we can check your screenshots. I could just upload this to App Center. That's when you definitely see the screenshots.
So
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have something like, we know that these tests work, right? So like if I come in here now, I'm just gonna open up a terminal and kind of go to Prism and get stage, and then we'll do git or what is it? No, it's git commit -m, I think, right? And I'm going to do what you should always do. I mean, not do. Yes. And just do right push straight to master, because why not? All right, so maybe let me open up. This is always going to be fun. Oh, good. I got rid of all of the ones that I kind of randomly had open. So let me open this up, though. I'm going to open it up in VS Code here so I can edit some other stuff. Go to Twitch, Prism, okay. So if I come in here and I start to edit this now, right? So I have, like, I already have my pipeline set up. It's really just a matter of doing, like, the deployment to App Center, and I already or the testing to App Center. Sorry.
Yeah. In your only before we there's two steps. Let me break it down for you. The first step is going to be to build the test solution. No, sorry, to build an APK, because you need to let the apps the App Center test task will need you to upload the APK or the IPA. So you should have it like. Do you know, or do you have the path to that?
Yeah, so I already have, like, I have these generated. Let me actually increase that. Okay. So I'm building the Sandbox app for Android. I build it for iOS. And then, I mean, realistically, what I probably should do in here is kind of have another job that builds the UI test.
So that's like the next step I was going to say. Yeah, so now that you have the binaries, the next step is to build the actual test project.
Okay.
And the third step is to use the App Center task, so the test task, and fill in the blanks, basically. It'll make you put the path to the test project, and then make you put the path to what's its name, the APK. Yeah. Let me pull up the actual YAML task thing for you so you know what it looks like.
And then this is going to be Sandbox. Brian was definitely very verbose in all this.
Let me see if I can just pull down one of my pre-made build scripts to show you that task. Did I push the changes? Let's see.
Okay. Okay. So I have the build there. Okay. So that should build my. Oops.
All right, I'm in here. I am looking for. I'm also side by side looking for my tests, like one of my build scripts, which maybe does this.
Okay. So everything we want to do, what I'm going to do in here. So I've got the build. I just have to remember exactly what this all does.
Right. Test. Let's view your YAML.
I'm not changing anything there.
Okay, actually I can dump it in gist for you. Can't I? Yes, I can.
Okay.
Oh, of course. I have been away from this machine for so long, it's forgotten all of my login. Not a good sign. or the sign of a great vacation. I'm not sure yet. Okay.
Could be a little bit of both.
Haha. Okay, new gist. Oh my god, I want to make a gist, silly.
Then
App Center test YAML
release. That's 461.
Okay, let me.
God, that's a long freaking thing. Okay. So what do we have? Now, do I need to reference the DLL or just like the path to like our test project?
1 second. I'm literally just giving that to you. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's why I made this gist. It'll be easier for you to fill in the blank. Okay. Create. Come on, GitHub. Okay. How do I share this with you now? Twitch. Pulling it into Twitch stream. Okay. So you build the suite. Build that in the so building the test was basically the main step here. So if you look at the gist, that's basically everything you have to sort of plug and play. You may have to do you may have to go in and do that service authentication for your App Center connection in VSTS.
Yeah, so we've already kind of done that for Prism here.
Okay,
but I mean,
okay,
I can, just for the sake of kind of like showing people kind of how that works, let me kind of just come into.
Yeah, I have yet to find out the best way to show it without typing all of my passwords to the whole world. But if you do have a good way to show it, please go ahead.
Okay, so when you come in basically to the project, right, you're going to want to go into the settings, and then we have our service connections here. And you can see we have a bunch of different service connections here. And then it's really just a matter of coming in, you have your service connection, find App Center. Which I find it funny, by the way, like everyone just like, it's App Center. And then like here, it's like Visual Studio App Center. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, it doesn't even use the right logo for App Center, but whatever.
Tell me about it. Oh, man. Tell me about it. Yep.
But yeah, and then you can throw in your API token here, which I'm not going to do. I've already done off stream because I care about security. But, and this is like one of those things I will say, I think I have App Center open already. Like, one of the things that has always frustrated me is like, if you come in here and like, I'll open another tab. So if I come in here and I say, I've got my API tokens or whatever, and I want to add a new token, I can't say, only do it for like this one organization or whatever. Like,
right. Yeah. I feel like there's maybe there's a GitHub issue for that still open. I remember seeing it and there was a lot of like comments on it. You should just go in and add more comments in there. Just be like, this is kind of stupid.
Oh, it definitely is. It's very stupid.
Yeah. But hey, now that you're in App Center, leave this open. We need like your app slug and all those different values. So, So since you have that service connection and everything ready, finish up that part of your build YAML, and then we'll come back here to get the rest of the values that you need.
Yep. Okay.
There's like a couple more you need.
Prism
like you need this.
It's like Prism App Center. Let's see. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, you parameterized it. Like, that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you don't have to parameterize it. I just done it because we tend to swap these out the most as compared to all the other values in the YAML, especially the device IDs.
Oh, definitely.
So it's just like if you parameterize it, it just makes it easier for you to like sort of, if you want to ever change the default device, the device set you're running on, if you ever want to like change it, it's like just go change that one variable. So.
Well, I guess here, let me do it here. Name, and we'll say droid slug. Okay. And then leave that blank for right now. Okay. So those two are done. The service endpoint. Oh, and that's actually, I think we called it.
What do you call yours?
I think it was Prism App Center, which I really hated doing, but.
It's cool. It's cool.
No, it's just like there was an error that I had with it, and I was like, whatever. Okay. So we have.
Yeah. So now that the UI test build directory.
Yes. So just
you want to put yours in there.
Bin build configuration, and then I'm actually getting a net 461. So okay. Perfect. So I think...
Okay, cool. So you also have that same build configuration variable, right? So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So the next thing is just confirm the app file. So that's the path to the APK. Is that also the same for you?
Hold on. For the build staging.
No, not that one. No, right up. So the second line in that task. First input. Yep. Is that correct for where the APK file is? Is that the same for you?
No. Well, and the other thing is I'm actually going to need to do... I need to like get it. So let me do task. Where is it? Pipeline. Hold on. Where is... I think somewhere...
I think I saw it somewhere too, and I'm like, I think you have something for it. Yeah.
GitHub packages, myget. Crap. This is like one of those things where when the IntelliSense does not work, it gets really difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I feel you. Is there somewhere you do like a distribute to something?
Yeah,
no, right?
Well, so I published the pipeline artifact, right? And so what I need to do is I need to like get the for crying out loud.
You could do like there's a download artifact task that you could use if you want to.
Okay. Everyone saw my fingerprint. There you go.
See, that's the right way to do it. I need to set my stuff up that way.
Okay. Authenticator. Yeah, I didn't do all this two-factor stuff, and then I got invited to some Microsoft repositories, and they forced me to. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay. Whatever. So I've kind of found as a cheat here, what I'll do is I'll like come in here, like I won't actually edit it. I'll just open this up.
And just add the task and copy paste it. Yep, I do the exact same thing.
Toolbar. Okay.
It's like there's only so many syntaxes one can remember. So.
You know, and I always tell everyone I have a terrible memory. So I mean, like when it's not working, I'm like, whatever.
Hell yes, I have the same thing. I don't remember anything. I couldn't even remember the page object stuff. I made you go back to GitHub. So yeah, like that's what I do every day. I don't remember anything.
You know, people go, oh, you know, you do blogs, you do this, you do that. I'm like, yeah, so I can trust the source. Like when I forget later on.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's mostly for like a personal thing. Yep. Yeah. It's not at all for any other genuinely good reason. It's like, so I remember in the future what to do myself.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Sweet,
actually, we care about the Android right now, so let me grab the Android. Sandbox Android. Okay. So we'll get that.
Yep. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, and then it's going to be here somewhere. And then I think
perfect.
Probably we'll just say sandbox dash Android. It's probably going to be in there.
Cool. We'll find out soon enough.
Yes, we will. Okay.
All right. So let me just make sure. The rest of this task looks correct. everything's good. You just need to now app slug and devices. We just have 2 more things. I think app slug you already set up. So we only have to
AppSlug
set
I
up
did,
devices.
yeah. AppSlug I
Yeah.
did, right somewhere, right, yeah. So Prism, Sandbox, Android. It's just the devices. So,
Devices. Okay, so
and
to
for
get
this
device.
we need to go into App Center itself.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna close that. Leave. Okay. Okay. So, what are we doing here?
All right, so you want to go into test in that site tab. Yep. Go through the new test wizard. We're gonna click
So
through. So
start
new.
testing your app right here.
Or yes, either that or new test run on the top right. Either both buttons are the same.
Start 30-day trial.
Ooh, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, remind me, we really need to talk to someone over there about getting Prism set up for the
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you click on that little filter button on the top, so you can sort of
Okay.
filter to a set of devices that you want to target for now.
Okay.
If
So-
you like,
So this
yeah.
actually, sorry, this kind of like reminds me a little bit, right? Like one thing that we probably would care about at some point, like we obviously care about like on platform. Am I on a phone or am I on Android? Am I on iOS? But there is also some things that we care about, like am I on a tablet versus a phone? So is there a way that we could check for that on our test as well?
Good question. I don't quote me on this, but I think there is a UI test like in the framework. There is an API that you can use that is on tablet or is on phone or is on iOS. So you can do like a combination of that. So if it's like only for an iOS, so if it's only for an iPad, so you could do if on iOS and then if on combine the 2 ifs.
Sure.
But don't quote me on it. But I think there is. We can search for it, but I think there is. API that you can use. If not, if there isn't, and you need help with something like that, that little blue box in the bottom right of App Center when you load in.
Yes.
The little intercom. Yeah, so our awesome support people are always there, and they can totally help you out with like a code snippet that does exactly what you need.
Okay.
So just pop in there and just like ask them that, hey, this is what I'm trying to do with UI test. Can you just tell me how to do it? And they'll more than happily help you out with. They might even just have a whole freaking GitHub sample to share with you. So yeah, I would suggest to do that.
Okay. So, and I noticed like one other thing here too is, the last time I actually looked at this task, it was requiring like the cloud, like whatever. There's like an exe in that Xamarin UI test NuGet, and it always required that stupid exe, and I'm like, why?
I think that was like a way those build machines were set up. I don't think that was ever the consumer's fault. I mean, I forget. I don't think it was ever like a client-side thing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Let's try it out. If
Yeah.
if we hit that issue now, we'll debug it. So yeah, let's
definitely.
see.
Okay. So anyway, what do you suggest here to do? Like, if we're just trying to, because we obviously don't want to test on 100 different devices, right?
I like to do latest and greatest.
Okay.
So I pick up like maybe like a Pixel 4, maybe a Samsung Galaxy.
So like, what is like tier 3 is the lowest, tier 1 is the highest, or is it tier 3 is the like highest? Like,
I think tier 3 is the highest.
tier 3 is the highest.
I think so.
Okay, so no. Okay, hold on.
Nope, never mind. I see a certain.
Yeah, tier 1 is the highest.
I
yeah,
think the tier
okay.
1 is the
Yeah.
highest then. Okay, yes, there we
Okay.
go. It is.
So, okay, so we have these tier 1 devices here. I'm not really much of an Android person myself. Like, I'm guessing we probably want to do, like, the Plus. Like, is there a difference between the 10 and the 10 Plus? Like, is it like Apple, where it's like a larger screen or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the main difference. If you're curious, if you click on that little eye, when
Okay.
you're highlighting on the device, it'll tell you the specs of the device.
Oh,
So just
a
like
6.3 inch, 6.8 inch. Okay, yeah, so it's a different size form factor.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What do we have here? 5.5. So that's maybe a decent different one. what's this? 5.7? No. 6.0. Like these are all different size.
Yep. Yep.
What do we have? Come back here. That's just so weird. Okay, so we'll say the essential phone products. I don't know. That makes me feel like Xamarin Essentials, so I should test on it. Okay, I think we have enough devices there. 4 devices, so...
Yep, that's good. That's good to be. Yeah, and like I said, we made it a variable, so you can, after the stream is done, you can go in there and like totally change this up. So, yep.
Yep. Okay, so we have Xamarin
yeah.
UI Test here, so we're gonna set
Yes,
this.
so I want to click that. Yep.
Okay.
And then hit next.
Okay, and we'll just keep this the master test series. So sounds so official.
Yeah, I mean, so this test series stuff is kind of just like branches in GitHub.
Okay.
So if you have like different tests running like based off your different branches, you can separate even the tests to be grouped based on that. So
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so all you want to do is scroll down to the pre-generated command line script where you want to look for dash.
The devices right here?
Yep. So grab that little alphanumeric thing. That's it. That's all you need.
Okay.
And if anybody's curious what this giant thing, that bash script looking thing was, that's basically if you want to upload these things using command line.
Yeah,
that's
so
the pre.
Yeah, there's like this this npm installs for the CLI. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it walks you through how to install the CLI tool, and then that's the exact command you need for the CLI tool. So you just need to replace 2 values, like we did for the build task. Similarly, you need to put in the path to the APK and the path to the build directory.
Okay.
So it's very, very similar. It piggybacks off the CLI tool basically. So
fantastic, and of course it looks like it also has the most important command that you'll ever need, and that is help.
Yep. And the help, like, if you notice, the help filters down like specifically like so many levels, but yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so actually I don't really need that. I'm just gonna... Okay, so that should be all we really need for this. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and
this looks correct to me. We will know soon.
Adding and now for the fun thing. Like this is like kind of like the boring wait part, really.
Yeah.
So what do we have? Oops, actually, I was exactly where I wanted to go. So yes, we have to go through this. So cool. We have this extra job that has kind of spun up here, and technically I should have done it depends on, but we'll see how this works.
Yeah. So again, I never beat myself up too much if it's like when I'm doing an initial sort of like, a CI setup, because I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I should have put, like if I'm setting up my first build, I need it to be perfect. I always say like, hey, have something basic going and then go in and sort of add in all of your stuff. But yeah, you can, if you do make it a depends on success step, note the fact that it will report back the status only once the tests are complete in UI tests, and if that takes super duper long, your pipeline can time out. So
definitely
you want to like sort of be mindful of if you're making it a depends on test, maybe run a subset of your complete test suite and maybe run it on one device so you don't sort of choke up your pipelines.
No, I was more thinking just having the hello world dependent on building the apps.
Yeah. That's also good.
I probably screwed up on that actually.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, no, that's definitely because it's going to build parallel. So actually, let me cancel this. So we have Sandbox Android. Does it depend? Like, is that how you do it when it's like two of them? Like if I have Sandbox, iOS, or something like that?
I think so. Don't. I'm going to say yes. It looks correct to me.
Here, Azure Pipelines, YAML depends on. Okay. Job. I mean, yeah, because, I mean, it will take a string array, so I think that's right.
Yeah, even I think so.
But they don't really ever give an example of that.
Maybe check out the conditions. Maybe the conditions might have an example of that.
Conditions.
Where are conditions? Conditions. I think I saw it in your Google search. Just go back.
Oh, in here.
That might have an actual sample of.
I mean, it shows like it depends on with a single job.
Oh, genius. Okay. Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, custom conditions. Check that.
Yeah. And I mean, I use some custom conditions, but
I think what you have is correct.
I think so. And it should default to, because like they show where was it? They show like for failed. But I think by default, if you don't specify that, it's just going to be succeeded. So it'll require that foo
Have succeeded. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. I think the default is to wait for success. Yeah, that part is correct. I think your syntax is also correct. What was I thinking? Yeah, I mean,
actually, you know what? For right now, I can mess with this later.
Sure. I mean, when you do
all I
add
really
that
care
iOS,
about, all I care about right now is this.
Exactly. Yeah. And remember that all you have to do is just copy paste that the giant task
Yes.
that you already have, and it just replace everything with iOS, and you're good to go.
Okay. So we'll say depend on Sandbox Android job. Okay. I know there might be somebody that's like watching this like freaking out like, wait, you can't make up your mind whether you want to go from like code or the terminal to do Git. Like I'm equally comfortable everywhere. I don't care.
Oh yeah, there's so many times if there's a Git merge, I do it on just like I literally just open a VS Code and do it, and then everyone looks at me so weird. I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to do it any other way. What's a lock
I'm freaking
bot?
everyone out with Lockbot.
Wait, what's a lock bot? I need to know now.
So Lockbot, it's a bot that you can install on your GitHub repos that after a certain amount of time, it will automatically go in and lock the issue and the PR. So that way people don't dig up issues that are like 2 years old and like revive this dead thread.
I see.
It's like,
I see.
and the funny thing is, like, I set that up yesterday, so it started running earlier this morning, and overnight, you know, there was literally like I think 2 issues where it was like 2018. I'm like, point in case why we installed this.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
1,300 emails. Yeah, I've stopped checking. You know, when we have 2,000 issues and you know, only like 10 of them are open, there can be a lot of emails.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah. So, but once the initial run is done, it should be pretty good. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so where were we? We want this one. Okay, now we get the so much fun just waiting for this.
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry. Yeah.
So what kind of time are we on here? So that should take 4 minutes. This takes about 2. Okay. So
Oh, that's pretty fast. Yeah.
Well, it really helps a lot that Azure DevOps has a fantastic offering for open source. Um,
Oh, yes, it
you know,
does. It
like
does.
the fact that they give us 10 concurrent, you know, agents,
Machines, right?
like, is
Yeah.
just, I mean, we
That's
didn't
true.
have, like, it. But when I first started helping Brian with Prism a few years ago, the entire process was Brian decides I'm going to do a release, and Brian opens up Prism in Visual Studio and hits build, and you know,
Oof.
so I mean we've gone from that, which I think, and the PowerShell scripts, yes, the PowerShell scripts. So
Of course.
we went from that, and it was horrific to do, to just this wonderful pipeline. And I'm really looking forward, of course, to having the UI test in here, because that's just going to give us that extra level
Uh-huh.
of
Uh-huh.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, you should throw in a bunch of unit tests now
Oh,
that you know how this whole thing works.
we have a lot of unit tests in here.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. It's yeah, this is like, yeah, once you like do it once, it's really straightforward. Like you know how simple it is. It's not as complicated as people think it is. But yeah, except for like the initial, like the few weird bugs we hit while trying to set it up. Provided your environment is all good to go, it's not that hard to do.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah. Once
Just waiting
what
on
you
the
can
load.
also do is once the UI test is like it's on that step, you
Mm-hmm.
can switch over to App Center and you can stare at App Center while it's completing your tests as well. So
Yeah, it should be very interesting. Should be very interesting. Okay. So now we're starting this and this. Okay. Cool. So we see that this is being held back because the Android app needs to build here.
yep, yep, perfect. Um, so the tests it treats iOS and Android separate, right, on App Center. Um, what you could do is to take further advantage of your parallel build machines. You can separate out that UI test tasks into like a UI test Droid and UI test iOS. So you can even run those in parallel. You don't have to wait for like Android to complete to run the iOS tests. Am I making any sense? Like you can make them two separate jobs basically.
Yes, you are making a lot of sense on that.
Yeah, because since you have like a bunch of like since you have all those free machines, why not? So because App Center will run those in parallel. Like the iOS tests are not related to the Android tests at all. So
Yeah, I think what I would probably do is refactor this, actually, where what we end up with is you still get, like, most of, like, what I just did would still be
uh-huh.
there as far as the build. Um, and then just basically publish the the binaries as an artifact, and then
Hmm.
just have a template for doing the actual App Center testing that would depend on either the iOS or Android, and
Ah, okay.
then that way it just pull down the build artifact of the actual UI test project, and then pull in the binary for whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually a good way to do it too. Yeah.
Okay.
So close, so close. But yeah, so are you? What are your plans on expanding the UI tests now? Now that you have like the initial sort of scaffolding going.
Um, well, I mean, let me just kind of bring this back up here. So there's a bunch of different things in here that we have. Like, I've started kind of redoing it. Some of this needs to kind of just be validated.
Uh huh.
But, like, one of the things, and I guess this be something good to talk about here too. So I have, like, excuse the dialog demo and this show dialog. So if I tap on these right now, they should do nothing.
Right.
But if I come in here to the modules and I say I want to load this, so now I know because I did this hello dialog, like I know that I should get the like this right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, and then now if I come back over here to this, now I should be able to get to this page. So
Got
like
it.
that
Got
I
it.
think might be a little bit more tricky to kind of deal with. Like,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
I navigate or did I not?
Yeah. Yeah, you should. There's a bunch of, like, everything I've worked on is all in public repos. You can check out. There's a bunch of UI tests in Tradewin, trailers, whatever we called it. Clancy's G Music has a bunch of UI tests that I'd written a while back. What else? There's a lot of like snippets, and you can check out a bunch of different like UI tests people have already written if you want like inspiration or like some sort of idea on how to deal with things.
Okay.
This is doable, though. I don't see how this could you can make this work. It's a good test to have too. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that did my navigation not work is always an important thing to know.
Yeah. So we have so if you in the base page, I showed you assert on page. If you scroll down, there's an assert not on page. We have that already set up and it's in there. So if you ever need to use it, you can totally go ahead and even use that in your tests. So we use assert.
So we have assert on page and then wait for page to leave.
Sorry. Wait for page to leave. Not
Okay.
if that. I keep forgetting what we named it. I thought it was assert not on page. But yeah, you can use wait for page to leave. You can create your own version of something like assert not on page. Like you can expand on this and create your own custom assertion tests or something for something that's very custom to what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Like you can totally piggyback and
Okay.
completely like destroy everything we have and just like make it into something that works specifically for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you can get super creative with this.
What?
Oh no!
What?
What?
Prism core
Is
is
it
not
an-
compatible.
Is it an agent issue? No, right?
I'm just thinking here. You know what I did? Like I gave it the path, I think, to the solution. Where was it? The build. Yeah, I gave it the path to the solution. So what I think I want to do instead is I'll probably want to give it the path directly, because we don't care about the entire solution. We don't need to build
No,
it.
you just need you just need the packages for just that UI test project. You could just give it the CS proj, yeah.
So yeah, so let me do that. Okay, so I think that's the right path. Yeah, hello world, hello world, hello. Oh.
I was like,
Good
there's a
God,
lot
Brian,
of
how many-
words there.
How many hello worlds did we need, Brian? Come on, man. Good grief. I'm like half tempted just to like wipe out all the commit history on this and just just fix that because it's so irritating. Hello world, hello world. Okay, so oops, CS proj. Okay, so fix this. Brian thinks we could use one more.
Who doesn't love long paths? Windows totally loves it.
Sure, we'll go with that. Let's see. Fix solution path.
Yeah, sandbox. Yeah, it could have been named so many different ways. Yes. I mean, also 5,000 hello worlds. It's got. I guess it can also work.
Okay. See, I think it quieted down now. Oh, poor network connection. What? Shall we try this again?
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Uh, not a whole lot. For some reason, we just had a NuGet restore fail for no apparent reason.
Oh, genius.
Oh, no, that's, yeah. What the heck? No neutral language version resource found. I didn't even change anything there.
Wow, yeah, that was like. Yeah, and I think internet on my side like blipped for like a bit there. Just like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, mine is definitely, I think, still kind of blipping. I mean, I've got gigabit internet, and it's struggling to push at, over a megabyte right now, which is
Oof.
or 1 megabit. So it's like, really? Maybe it's upset because I've been streaming too long. I don't know. Oops.
Okay, what? I'll keep this. I don't need this.
Okay. I wish it would let me just like rerun this already. It's gonna like make me wait.
I swear they need like. I wish they'd add small things like this. Like exactly like a rerun for that one. In that stage, it's not like rerun that one job. Uh,
Like I should have that, but it's gonna like it'll force me to wait until
all of it is done, right? That stage has to be complete before it can
yes.
rerun.
I'm
I'm
like
just like, but why? I just want to rerun that one job. Let me do it.
I'm live streaming. Let me do it right now. Like why do I have to wait?
And then it's like something as silly as this. Or there should be like a fail check that if NuGet restore fails, just like freaking do it again or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean the other one that kind of irritates me, like I'll go back to this one here. So I've got like these artifacts, um, and every single time I've noticed this in every like in every Azure DevOps organization that I'm in, with like different identities. Like I've seen this for like clients and stuff. Like for whatever reason, they have this bug right now where when you first go to it, you get this unexpected error.
Oh, yes. I've been hitting. I think there's an open issue for that because I hit that and I went to file an issue and it's like, this looks similar to this other open issue. I think it's known.
Yeah, it's been that way for a while. I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
can you not fix this? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's an open bug. It's still open. I can tell you that because I
yeah.
checked.
I mean, it's not hard
Yeah,
to like. All you have to do is hit refresh, and then you get everything. But it's like,
but still, why does it? And it's like it's a very concerning message because if someone doesn't know this is the problem and they just be like,
yes,
oh shit, what did I do wrong? Uh,
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So,
yeah, a lot of people have been hitting this and a lot of complaints are coming through. So yeah, yeah, we are not alone.
yeah. So I like I could very easily, by the way, and I've been thinking about this. Like I could easily make the Android app publicly accessible from App Center for people, where they could install it. Um,
Uh huh. Yeah, absolutely
direct
distribute.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I've been thinking about like, do I want to do that on the iOS? Because really, the only way I could effectively do that is if I sign it with my enterprise cert, and I think Apple would get very upset about that.
Yeah, it's really tricky with iOS. You could maybe make it. I mean, I don't know. It's
Oh,
completely up to you.
I guess maybe if
But
I really talk to them, they might, because like they've actually been pretty cool with me on letting me do things that are a little outside of the box when it comes to the
mhm.
enterprise cert. Because like
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
talked to them about it, and I told them like, hey, I'm going to be giving a talk on DevOps with building iOS apps. I'm like, I want
Uh-huh.
people to see like not just like okay, yeah, people understand code, maybe they already know how to do that, but
Yeah.
they don't know how to like get that DevOps pipeline and then like get it onto their device or anything. And
Mm-hmm.
so I want people to be able to like download this and like see like proof for them. And
Yep.
I
Yep.
can't like get their device IDs ahead of time because I'm giving a talk. And they're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, no, we bless you to do this. I was like, that's awesome. So
That's cool.
you know,
Yeah. 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 Maybe. I mean, I mean, enterprise is like the easiest way to do it. Yeah. I actually can't think of any other way. It will be less
rerun.
annoying.
Okay. So it is nice though that they added that rerun failed job thing in there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's this. It's there. I wish they could just extend it a little bit more. Let me rerun other things at other times.
Yeah, like don't make me wait until the end.
Exactly. I swear, God, man. I mean, they're just like, it's a great feature. Thanks, but could you like not make us wait till the end of that whole stage and like let us do it? Just
Yes. Okay. So we're so close. So close. We just
come
need this build.
on. Come on. I mean, they could also make this rerun smart, you know. It should have realized that, oh, there were two successful jobs. Just let me quickly just rerun this other one and we're golden. Ah,
Like another one would be um like give me the manual ability to say I want to go to the next stage anyway.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of potential. They can definitely do so much more with this. I 100% agree. Yeah. And you know what's confusing me more is it's like nowadays I'm always stuck. It's like there's all of like the release stuff can be done in the pipeline now, right? You don't need to technically even go specifically into the releases section.
Hmm.
So this most days I'm just like, should I just put it in the pipeline and just like, add that stage over there, or should I
Yeah.
go and just do a release? Yeah, it's like so I mean like I'm just like, can you just take a call? Are you what is happening? Are you combining them or is it gonna keep continuing forever?
Hmm.
Um
Yeah,
yeah.
I know because like I was I was part of like the very early previews for like the whole YAML
Mm-hmm.
pipelines and everything, and I remember like in talking to them. I think it's been long enough I can talk about this now, but I remember like there was a lot of discussion actually about the releases and should they keep it, should they deprecate
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and the reality of it is like when you're trying to move over to it, you probably have a whole bunch of releases, and you may have releases there for a while, so you kind of need that. But
Yep. Yep.
I kind of feel like if you don't have any anymore, like you've purged your like you've updated your entire strategy to be like, okay, we have like just this unified pipeline, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
need the release. Like it should just automatically disappear.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
it's
otherwise,
like
it's too confusing for people. Like,
exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I know it makes sense to put it in releases, but it's here. Don't ask me why. Just do it.
yes.
Uh,
Uh,
okay, no more NuGet restore fails. That's positive. That's a good
yes.
sign.
So now I think it's just making me waiting for an agent.
Nice. Okay. Okay. I saw something move. That's good.
Okay,
That's
so
always good.
starting the WPF app.
Awesome. One second. I'm gonna quickly go check when is my next meeting so I don't
Yeah,
forget.
because I know we scheduled it at 10, so that way we had some time with your
Yeah,
meeting.
because
So
I have stuff in the afternoon,
yes,
unfortunately. So, yeah, let me just wait for Outlook to start. Yay.
All right. So, iOS app is building. Android app is building. Cool.
Nice, nice. Oh my god. Yes, yes. Chill, chill. Okay. Let's see. All right. I have something at 1:30, so I'll need to drop off in maybe 10 minutes-ish.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm seeing green, so this is good. This is good.
So I think this should start building pretty quick here. I think the Android app was, like 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll get
Yeah,
about
it
halfway
definitely
through.
built super fast. I remember that. It was.
Which I never see in real apps, but I think all my builds are like 10, 15 minutes long each. I'm like, crap.
Are you running? Are they all running on different build agents? How do you have this set up?
Well, no, I'm just talking like for each one because like I have like all my builds are kind of like this, where like the Android app is like one job, the iOS app is
Uh-huh,
another.
uh-huh.
Um,
No,
but
I'm like genuinely curious. Have you seen it make a difference? At least, like at least for the Android app, does it make a difference when you pick a Mac agent versus a Windows agent?
I don't even bother with the Windows agent. Like there are some oddities on the Windows agents that just drive me crazy. Um,
Uh-huh.
like I mean, and it's little stuff like that whole Android SDK issue
Yeah,
that we were
yeah.
dealing with. Like they just don't like. I had to pass it in as an argument to MS Build because they screwed something up.
Right, right.
And then like there's like this weird issue with variables where um,
Hmm.
like on Windows they do a two upper on every single variable name.
Interesting.
And then they're
Okay.
like, oh, well, we can't change that because that's not how everything else works. I'm like, no, I'm asking you to change it because it's the only place where you do this.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. Huh. I mean, I also have been exclusively only using Mac agents, so yeah. But yeah, I think I did recently have to switch over to Windows build for something, but yeah,
Ah,
interesting. But I'm curious to know, like,
auxiliary
if the
code one.
build times and stuff, are they like, is it like significantly different between the two?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Why did that fail? Okay, does not exist.
Oh, what now?
Did I screw up the file path? Oh, shoot. I did screw it up.
No, I thought you had the correct number of hello worlds.
Yeah, but I didn't have the correct number of Hello World UI tests.
Oh no. Okay.
See, because it's, where is it? So it's, hold on 1 second here. Okay, so we have Hello World, Hello World, Hello World UI test, and then we
Oh,
have
oh,
the
oh,
CS bar.
line. No, no, I think I got it. Line 25. The third hello world typo. Capital O, capital. No, what do you have? You have the Xamarin UI test YAML open right now? No, that's fine. Just check out line number 25.
Line 25, okay. Oh,
And if you see the third hello world, I think hello world.ui test, the W, the cap, there's a O or a zero after it.
oh what now?
Oh yeah, wait. So look at that whole path. Sandbox, Xamarin, Hello World, Hello World, Hello World. There you go.
Hello World UI test.
Yep. I think that might have been it, or did it fail even before
No,
that?
it failed up here.
Oh,
So,
geez. Okay.
because what I had was I had Sandbox, Xamarin, Hello World, Xamarin, and then I had Hello World UI Test CS Proj. So I was missing the Hello World UI Test folder.
Oh boy. Okay.
So, but yeah, that other issue would have failed, I'm sure, as well. Um, yeah, Brian is just not paying any attention to this live stream, and so he missed it, and it's his fault. Fixing bad.
Totally fine with that. No, it doesn't need a solution file. We tried that before. It didn't like it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do my commit message that I'm fixing bad pass because of Brian Lagunas. Um,
I mean, if this file path is like so long and so odd,
really,
uh, like what is happening, man?
I don't know. God, I'm so tempted to like just blow these out and make it sane. All right. So, I think though, like by the time this finishes up, we'll probably be past your time because you have a meeting here. I know we.
Yeah, I can hang around for like 5 more minutes. Let's see how far I can get.
Okay,
We can kick
we'll see
we
how
can kick
far it can
stuff.
get here, and before you
Yeah.
have to drop off here. To be fair, those projects were never meant for this. That is partially true. They should have been. Uh, so yeah, I know Brian always kind of had the philosophy of I don't care. It's just for testing, so I can validate that the feature worked. Um,
Uh-huh.
and then what would end up happening was we would make changes, and nobody would ever bother to go into the sandbox app.
Actually, why am I laughing? Literally do the same thing. Uh,
So yeah, no, that was pretty comical. I always thought because it's like okay, well, um, they were throwaway projects and nobody ever went into them. So then they don't build. We have different versions of like Xamarin.Forms
uh-huh.
on that versus Prism forms and all kinds of craziness. So
No, no, completely understandable. So yeah, but this is this is good in a way. I need to go fix some other build pipelines for some of our samples. So
actually, I'm wondering here, can I? Ooh, I can do that. Hold on, I'm gonna try to speed this up a little. I'm gonna cancel this.
oh, I see, I see. Yeah.
Did it cancel? Okay, yes. And then, heck yes. Okay, so all I actually care about, so I want to do a test run. So we don't care about that. All I want to do is just test the sandbox.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, this is sweet. Totally
That
forgot
that
this exists. Yeah.
that is a newer feature because I don't remember that like.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think it's enabled on all of my orgs. I think I just have it enabled on mine. And I think I remember I tried doing it in someone else's and I was like, oh no, it's a preview feature. I need to enable this.
Okay. Yeah, definitely for people watching. Like if you haven't in Azure DevOps, you should check out the preview features. Like see what's there, kind of
Hmm.
see what's coming because like they're doing some cool stuff. Like as much as I like to complain about things I don't like, they're doing a pretty good job with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Overall, they're pretty good.
Although I will kind of echo like because I saw a comment on this on Twitter earlier this morning where someone was asking I think it was on Twitter maybe it was somewhere else but like someone was asking are they going to combine Azure DevOps and GitHub Actions right like
Mm.
because it's
Yeah.
like you know what business sense does it legitimately make for Microsoft to have like these two competing products and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like that, I think that's a really interesting question.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
I
is.
don't think anybody has an answer to that. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
a-
I mean, I even yeah.
anything that's, I mean, anything anybody says is going to be pure speculation at this point. But I think it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of years, kind of like how this all materializes.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried actions? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Um, I am using it right now to do my doc sites
Mm-hmm.
for a bunch of like my projects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really using anything for Prism right now.
Gotcha.
So, and I despise the like the GitHub artifacts that you have to generate a personal access token, and then when you add the NuGet feed, you have to like set it up as an authenticated feed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't even want you seeing the packages if it's an authenticated feed. Like
Yep. Oh man, that GitHub packages has been like my worst nightmare. Oh dear God, trying to figure that out took me freaking forever. And trying to get Azure DevOps to publish those packages there was another whole nightmare. It should not have been so complicated. I
no.
have no idea why it took me so long to get that thing to work.
Yeah, I know Clancy set something up for
Yeah,
comment
yeah.
because he's been like publishing all of his
hmm
packages there.
So that was, yeah, so he was my test
Yeah,
case. So I got it to work on Clancy's Comet first,
yeah,
and that also took so long. And then once we got it figured out for that, then I moved, tried it on another project. It still took me a while to configure it for the
yeah.
second project, but I was just like, this is ridiculous. This should not be this complicated.
No,
Uh,
it shouldn't. But like what I thought was funny because people were like, "Well, how do I connect to this?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "Well, I'm just gonna create a gist with like a throwaway thing because like it's not even like you have to have permissions to the organization. So I
yeah,
like
yeah, that's even more bizarre. Exactly. For a public feed and it's a public repo, you still need to get permission. It's weird.
yeah, it's very weird. So like I think he
So
created like a
weird.
dummy GitHub account and then created a personal access token for that. Um,
So everyone can like get access to it. Yep,
yeah,
yep.
which is
So that was the
hilarious.
only way around it. Because we tried it and we're just like, oh, everybody outside cannot technically use it unless they're like on this org. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a complete mess. So it's
The
just
funny
like,
thing was like GitHub was so on it though. Like as soon as he created the gist and everything, like it scanned his gist and was like, "You included a personal access
first
token."
access to,
Like,
yeah.
and then it deactivated the token.
Yep, yep. It's been a ride. It's been a ride.
Oh, for crying out loud!
But I just realized, nice part is, oh no. I was like, oh no, didn't fail yet. So
So we did get to our test thing here.
what's good? Cannot find. Okay, I think you can fix this. It can't find your APK.
Okay,
Um, Go back to the previous step. See what the download artifacts downloaded. Maybe you just need to
check
confirm the
out use
paths.
latest. Okay, download right here. Um. So actually, let me see something here. If I come in here, I should have some artifacts. Yeah, it should just be that. Now, does it care about anything other than the APK, or we only care about the APK, right?
No, we only want the APK. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't care about anything else. I just said leave it as star.apk, like star dot, like what's that thing? The one when you do, uh, is it a double star dot star? Like it goes up in folders and look like make it completely wildcarded if you want. Um,
Like that?
I forget how they do that. I always like, I'm like,
Yeah, it should be just like this. The
yeah, I think it's just like this. Yeah,
star
yeah.
APK.
And if that's the
Um,
only APK in that artifacts thing, this should work. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the literally the only thing that's there. And it is an APK. I haven't updated this to Android App Bundle yet, which there's actually no reason to for this project at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, if this is just your sandbox stuff, this should be fine. Yeah.
Okay, we'll say wildcard. And come back here. I'll have to cancel another build.
Oh yeah.
But I do like that I was able to just say like, hey, this is the only stage I care about.
That good thing you remembered about it. I also like. It's like I have amnesia every day I wake up. It's like I forget all these features exist. Like,
Okay.
or as my coworker Ben would say, "Good shout, good shout."
Do that. Brian,
Yeah,
I
I
forget.
forget stuff. Yeah, I forget Xamarin stuff. I forgot testing stuff earlier in the stream. So, but for me, I want to call it vacation brain just because I just basically just got back.
Yeah.
Um, okay, cool, Dan. I'm going to leave you now
Yes, no
just because
worries.
I have to head out.
Not a problem at
But
all. So I'll kind of
this was
keep the stream
great.
going for a couple of minutes here just while we watch to see this
Uh-huh.
kind of finish up. But
Uh-huh.
thank you again for
Yep.
jumping on and helping out. And I think this has probably provided a lot of great information for people that want to sit through 3 hours of this in the
Or ever
future.
want to debug Windows UI test issues, just go to watch the beginning of the stream. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, you should totally. I want a screenshot of that test running or test passed.
Yes,
Um, like,
definitely
tweet
will.
that to me so I know for sure it worked out.
I
Um,
definitely will. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Perfect.
awesome. And make sure you add more UI tests. We literally just added one test today, but yes.
Yes, yes, I will definitely make sure I do that. Thank you so much,
Mhm.
Sweeky.
Yeah,
I'll
thanks for having me.
catch you later. Bye.
Alrighty, bye.
So, I guess with that, we'll wait another minute. And then I got to get going myself here because it has been a long stream for sure. Um, so let's kind of give this another minute to run. Lockbot. Hey, Lyndon, good to see you, buddy. Um, yeah. Um, Yeah, there is a lot. So if you missed the beginning, you'll definitely want to go back and kind of watch that. We were kind of battling through some issues with um, getting like just the like everything set up for Android because that was all screwed up on the Windows side. So fun stuff, and definitely I know Sweeky has kind of educated us a lot on things I have honestly never heard her talk about, either at XamDev Summit or Xamarin Show or anywhere else. So yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, I will have to figure out this path issue a little bit later here, guys. I have been going for quite a while. But anyway, so we have a question. I don't know what is that? NOF XXP. So is Shell with Prism still in progress? Yes, it is still in progress. So last Friday, I did the second stream with Shane on the Xamarin.Forms team Twitch. So we kind of made some additional progress with that, and we'll kind of follow up not this Friday but next Friday. So basically, we're looking at like every other Friday for right now. You can actually go to my GitHub. So if you go GitHub to, / Dan Siegel, and I don't want to show you guys my private repository, so let me kind of just move this here real quick, and we'll say public. Yes, now that that's filtered. So we have the Prism shell stream here, and so if you come in here, you can kind of see everything that is kind of going on with that, the work that we're doing on that. So it's all there for you. If you have comments, questions, whatever, feel free to ping me on Twitter. And we can kind of go from there. Anyway, thank you guys for being so patient and joining on this incredibly long stream today. And for those of you that are getting the lockbot notifications, I apologize, but we kind of needed to do it. So once it's past the initial locking of issues, it shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, all right, guys, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all on the flip side.